Tomo, thank you so much for having me be in Aspire, your gorgeous headquarter medical facility that is partly a museum.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So if we can jump right into it, I think the most obvious for anybody who's a follower of yours on your social media, you're obviously a very alpha male influencer, bodybuilder, entrepreneur. And today, a lot of things get mixed up between women's roles and men's roles. So for you as a guy's guy, somebody who's 100% male influence and all of that, how would you describe the male aura versus the female aura that you think is the most ideal for society today?
Oof. All right, we're going to go straight into male-female roles. I love it.
Yes.
So, let me preface this first. I was raised by all women,
Yeah.
which is, people wouldn't really guess that. They
No.
think I had some maybe hyper masculine man that
Yeah.
raised me, something like that. Father left early. I didn't really have a father figure growing up. So raised by my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, which was mostly working. So I kind of raised myself in the streets, which most 90s kids did, right?
Yep.
We were out all day. We weren't allowed in the house.
We were not allowed in the house.
So knowing that about me, I tend to understand women somewhat, as much as a man can.
Somewhat.
Well, as much as a man
Yeah.
can. No man, if I understood women completely,
Yeah.
I'd be a billionaire.
That's right.
I would
Or
be
you
able-
wouldn't be
yeah.
a man.
Yeah, or I wouldn't be a man. That's right. Male and female roles to me, it's dynamic somewhat, but when I look at what people talk about, and you said something, you called me an alpha man,
Yeah.
right? An alpha male. A lot of people don't even know what that means. They think of like this big grunting brute of a man, right? Powerful, maybe hyper angry, maybe hyper aggressive.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, they say toxic masculinity. Masculinity itself is not toxic.
Yeah.
Those behaviors maybe are toxic, but that's not really what masculinity is or what an alpha male even is. When I look at it, what is a man? What is a man supposed to be? A man is supposed to be, in my opinion, if we're going to sum it up, provider and protector. Okay, so you provide and protect, but it's not just providing like a house or protecting from dangers, those archaic principles.
Yeah.
It's providing everything, emotional stability, providing what a woman needs, like women and men communicating, right? Men always want to solve the problem,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Women usually don't even want the problem solved. They just want to vent,
Yes.
so a man needs to be able to do that. An alpha male can make a woman feel heard, right? So it's not all about these traditional toxic masculinity things that people talk about. A man is supposed to be providing and protecting everything, including emotions, including love. You have to provide love.
Yeah.
You have to provide comfort. I'm the father of a 2.5-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
I have a nickname that somebody actually gave me a long time ago, a woman gave me. She called me Tomo the Take No Shit Teddy Bear. That's what she called me. She's like, you can be a grizzly bear when you want to, when you need to. She said, but you're a giant teddy bear, when you're in the right position.
Yeah.
Put me around my 2.5-year-old daughter, you will see me be a giant teddy bear.
Yeah.
And I will do all the girly things as a girl dad, right? So that's what a man really should be to me. Now, a woman, things have gotten a little weird lately,
A
right?
lot weird lately.
Okay, a lot weird lately.
Yeah.
Back to the man. Men have been told toxic. Masculinity is toxic. They've just been told masculinity is toxic without a definition.
Yes.
So they've been told this, and men have become more feminized. Men have been scared to be more masculine and strong and assertive. And then women on the opposite side have been told to become more masculine
Right.
and to be like these alpha female boss babe type things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're completely with side of our nature, in my opinion. Now, are there variances? Of course. Do I think that all women need to be at home making babies and cooking? No, not all women are going to be exactly the same. Do I think men all need to be tacticians with firearms and, bodybuilders and, all these things that I do? No, not every man is the same either. But when it comes down to it, our nature is our nature. Women are naturally more nurturing, naturally more caring.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask me, as a masculine man, there is nothing better than a feminine woman.
Yes.
Because that's what balances us. We're not battling out in the fields with swords and shields anymore, right?
Yeah.
But we are in a metaphorical term.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're in my office. I'm battling from the moment I wake up to the moment I get home. And I'm battling everything to keep what I build alive. And if this fails, not only does my family starve and multiple generations of my family that are supported by this, my staff, dozens of people that families depend on this job, starve. So that's a lot of pressure on a man, right? On me. I'm talking about my own situation. If I can get home and I have a caring, loving, soft, feminine woman who I can just put my head on her shoulder, I have all the energy in the world to go do it again and to go into battle again. That's what I think the roles got kind of messed up with. You know, make men men again, make women women again. Let's really kind of lean into our more natural roles. And I think, you know, when people start doing that, I think it's a much happier life. Hormones aren't like detrimental or necessarily bad for you.
Yeah.
You know, testosterone, they used to say testosterone causes prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Right? Well, causation correlation, right? You can't say testosterone causes prostate cancer. What they're basing that off of was the fact that when people would get prostate cancer, they would do something called testosterone deprivation therapy. They would take the testosterone out of the men completely, get them to zero, basically put them at a female level of testosterone.
And that helps?
It helps not exacerbate it, maybe.
Okay.
This has now been disproven.
Okay.
So a doctor named Dr. Morgan Toller out of Men's Health Boston disproved that entire theory. This was a couple decades ago. And he proved this, and he started putting his prostate cancer patients on testosterone. And he's like, you are killing them faster by taking their testosterone away than you are by, you know, from the prostate cancer. He's like, you can treat the prostate cancer while keeping them a man. I mean,
it sounds logical, right?
Sounds logical, right? Yeah. And, you know, they have the same thing with women. Estrogen, breast cancer, right?
Yeah.
Well, the studies that linked, quote unquote, I'm saying this with big air quotes, estrogen to breast cancer was a synthetic estrogen made by Big Pharma.
Yeah, I believe it.
Bioidentical estrogen, estradiol.
Yeah.
Okay, so bioidentical estrogen does not cause breast cancer. If it did, every woman, every young woman going through puberty and going through younger years, and again, every man going through puberty, testosterone levels are through the roof.
Yeah.
They would all have cancers. They would all have prostate cancer and breast cancer.
Yep.
That correlation doesn't work.
No.
So, you know, when you look at what runs our body, do you know what the hypothalamic pituitary axis is? Okay, so HPTA.
On a high level.
On a high, yeah. So your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland signal, amongst other glands, signal your body to make hormones. If you have a disconnection in there, you have a bunch of health problems.
Yeah.
So when I talk about hormones being a major proponent for longevity and for health, what starts happening mid-age to women? Menopause.
Yeah.
The male equivalent is andropause. It's a newer term. People know it now. So basically, and they used to call it a midlife crisis for men, right? So men would go through a midlife crisis.
Corvette and a big tattoo on your back. Leave your wife.
You
for
get
a younger
tattoos,
chick.
you leave your wife, you buy a Corvette.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
It's not, your life is not having a problem. What's happening is you're basically going through a testosterone decline and you're trying to mitigate those feelings by doing something else because people didn't know what it was. Now, I mean, we literally save marriages in our clinics. We go from a husband and wife ready to divorce each other to, oh, wow, we got the spark back. Well, no, your biochemistry was completely off.
Yeah.
You bring somebody back to an optimal level of hormones, you will get the life back into them. And we see this with postmenopausal women constantly. They literally, and you know, during menopause, what goes through, you know, the mind of a woman? They're starting to gain body fat. They're starting to have this depression, anxiety symptoms. And then you talk about all the other health effects that happen during menopause is all happening because of the decline of hormones. Women, major sex hormones, progesterone, estrogen.
Right.
Testosterone is also one of them. So you take those hormones and you put them completely in the tank. What do you think your body's going to do? That's like the oil in your car.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're a Ferrari. At 25 years old, you're a Ferrari. Ferrari motor runs perfect, beautiful. The hum sounds great, everything. Put that oil level at half. Put the transmission level at half. How long is that motor going to run? It's not. You're done in months, you know, if not sooner. That's what's happening to your body. The declination of hormones is literally the aging process.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's very interesting. And I have a question about that. So let's say someone like me who hasn't gone through menopause, and every time I've tested my hormones, they're normal.
Sure.
I'll do the quotation mark.
Yeah, the big quotes.
But it's always like, well, they're normal. And I've even taken them to my functional doctor and they've always been normal. So if I've never tested for anything being abnormal or below the range,
sure.
Do your clinic still recommend to someone like me whose tests are normal to take hormones?
It depends.
On how you feel?
It depends on your symptoms.
Okay.
So symptoms matter almost more than the number.
It's true.
Because we don't know what your normal optimal level is.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I actually have a perfect story to give us. And this is with men, but okay, we know women are a little more complicated. It includes hormones.
Agreed.
It's what
100%.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So when you have a man, though, men are pretty easy. It's like, you know, you pretty much can give them testosterone. They kind of blossom. For women, you know, there's a little bit more nuance.
The cycles. I mean, you guys are high in the morning. the day goes by, gets lower and lower, 24-hour cycles. By the next morning, you're replenished again.
There you go.
And it's very simple.
And women are on the 28-day cycle.
Oh my gosh.
Which it's ironic, and we can get into the science behind it, but also like kind of the spirituality behind it. Women are on the moon cycle.
Yeah.
So women are lunar.
I love that you're saying that to Mirit Moon, who's a
There you go.
Cancer
There you
and
go.
ruled by the moon. Yeah.
That's right. You are a Cancer.
I am a Cancer
So am I.
too. Yeah.
So yeah.
There
that's
you
right.
go.
So, women are on the lunar cycle.
Yeah.
Men are on a solar cycle. We're 24 hours, women are 28 days. So knowing that, it's, women can be a lot more complicated with this. But, my point is that, everybody's different.
Yeah, it's true.
So I have twin brothers that were here. I think they're still patients actually, or one of the brothers maybe. I had twin brothers. They are identical genetically.
But different hormonally.
Oh my goodness.
Like
Not even close.
wow.
And one had, they won't yell at me for saying this because I've said it on podcasts before. One had a little bit more of a stressful relationship.
Yeah.
One had 3 kids. One had 1. One had a job that was at a desk. One had a job that was more active, more physically active. Completely different hormone profiles.
I can see that.
So what does that tell you? And we don't know their baseline levels
Yeah.
because nobody's testing these hormones when
When you're young?
you should be testing them at 18, really. If I had historical data from 18 for every patient, 18, and then maybe every year. So every year you get labs. And then maybe when you hit 30, you start doing them twice a year.
That would be amazing.
The
Only thing I knew from 20s and 30s was being on the pill.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Which is awful.
Awful, but I didn't know, but awful. Yeah.
They're just figuring this out now.
Yeah.
It's super sad to see how many women have fertility problems due to
PCOS. Endometriosis. So many issues today.
Due to the prevalence of birth control.
Yeah. Awful.
And
I had no idea back in those days. Like truly didn't know.
it's what makes me angry about it is that big medicine did know.
Of course.
They knew.
Of course.
And what's the first thing that young women get as soon as they get their period? Oh, you have cramps?
Yeah.
It hurts a little bit?
Yep.
Here's some birth control.
100%.
This will help mitigate your symptoms.
Yeah.
What it does is it stops your cycle completely.
Yep.
That's not normal. So you end
It
up
causes
causing
cancer in the long term.
Yeah. So you have this basically stoppage of your natural cycle.
Yeah.
What is that doing to your hormones? What is that doing to your fertility? We have women coming in and they're in their late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. They have fertility problems. They basically have menopausal symptoms.
Wow.
It's
That's
scary
so
stuff.
crazy when I hear that women go through menopause at I'm in my late 40s. I can't even imagine going through menopause. And I see it all the time now. Young ladies, 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
going through menopause
And I mean, a lot of women are being kind of pushed into full hysterectomies, things like that.
that I've seen.
It's super sad.
Brutal. And that's a major surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Even just getting your tubes tied.
Yeah. So, you have all of these things that the mainstream medicine system is talking about with hormones. I mean, thankfully, and whether or not, I don't care what people's political belief is, whether you like RFK, not like RFK, the Maha movement, which whatever. I started Maha, by the way, Gary. We know that.
You started?
I didn't tell you that?
No.
So I actually had a Make America Healthy Again shirt in 2021. It was started in 2020.
I want to see a picture.
I'll show you.
Do we have
Really? I have it. Yeah.
Before
I'm not
they
joking.
ever had it?
I'm not joking. I have it right here. So 2020. I'm going to show you right now.
I think we need to send that over to the White House.
I'm pretty sure that he already saw it because we do have friends and connections in there.
I can't believe that. Wow.
Yeah, this is really funny. So I made this Make America Healthy Again shirt, and they started.
And
that
you had
Maha
posted
movement.
it as well on
yeah.
your social media.
Of
So it
course.
was up.
Let me see if I can
That's
find it for you real
awesome.
quick. Yeah, so, whether you like what RFK is doing or not, it doesn't really matter. The point is that what he's doing is he's bringing to the forefront the realities of medicine.
Yeah.
So there's men and women out there that have been demonized for hormone therapies. Here we go.
Yep.
September 7th, 2021.
Can I see this? Wow. Make America Healthy. And it's Aspire. It's your
Yeah, it
clinic.
says Make America
and
Healthy
it's
Again.
literally the date is
Yeah.
September 7th. I'm going to screenshot it and you send
Please.
it to me.
September
That's
7th,
awesome.
2021.
That is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I was like,
so-
what do you mean you started?
I started it. Yeah. I you know what's funny is I actually tried to trademark it. They wouldn't let me.
And now I'm sure it's well trademarked.
I actually think it's not. I think because Make America blank again, it's too much of a common phrase.
Yeah.
So
you can't trademark it.
I think people did trademark Maha
Yeah.
in certain categories, but I wasn't saying Maha, I was saying Make America Healthy Again.
Yeah.
So yeah, the trademark failed, unfortunately. But I did try. It
You
would have been
did try.
great.
I
Yeah, so
love that
maybe-
you started it though. That's
Maybe
very
RFK
cool.
owes me royalties or something.
Yeah. That is very cool.
But what his FDA has done recently, they took the black box warnings off of hormone therapy for women.
Yeah.
And they're saying now, oh, well, hormone therapy for women is life-saving, for the older population. Of course it is. I've been saying this since I've studied hormones, and I I did 10 years of research just for my own benefit on hormones.
And you got certified in Dubai, right?
I got certified in Dubai and the US, actually. So I got the actual certifications are up there on the wall over in the corner. So I went to Dubai for the first certification. I went to an A4M certification for anti-aging and advanced bioidentical hormone therapy.
But isn't that a certification that doctors do?
Oh, yeah. They were a little bit...
You just decided you're a doctor and you're going to go do that?
They didn't ask. So
they assumed you were a doctor.
They even printed my certificate with a doctor.
Wow.
Dr. Tomo Marjanovic is what it said on there. And I was like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm not a doctor. Can you change it? They're like, what do you mean you're not a doctor?
What are you doing here?
And then I did the exact same thing with WorldLink Medical. And since then, they are very, very stringent on checking credentials.
I can understand. But you are an expert in the area of hormone health.
I mean...
It started as a passion for yourself. You loved bodybuilding. You actually went into the police force with the love of that.
Yeah.
So you've kind of had it your whole... It reminds me a little bit, the way you tell some of the stories in the book, it reminds me a little bit of the Netflix Schwarzenegger documentary.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It had a bit of that vibe. And you definitely love hormone health. It's a passion for you.
Yes.
And it seems like it's your mission to educate mankind on the benefits of hormone health.
Yeah, just, I look at our clinics, and I don't even consider us hormone clinics necessarily. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
I consider us preventive and regenerative medicine clinics.
Yeah.
Do we focus on hormones a lot? Yes. But I consider hormones preventive.
Yes.
I consider them regenerative.
They control everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Including our minds.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you how true that is on controlling our mind. Just as a woman, every month before my period, I tell myself, okay, Mirit, you're a very sane, level-headed woman and it's coming. And when it comes, you're going to think you're really ugly. All sorts of things are going to pop up and they're not true. And you just need to remember that it's all hormonal.
Wow.
And I tell myself that. And then it comes and the hormones are down to the floor in the luteal phase. And after you start on your cycle, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll look in the mirror and I'll say, wow, I lied to myself. I really am a monster. And all I can see, Tomo, when there's no hormones left in the body, and of course I'm exaggerating, there's a little bit of hormones left. You can't even see, your mind can't even see what you're normally able to see.
Sure.
All you see is this weird, fragmented, and it's upsetting to know ahead of time that you're going to lose your hormones and you're not going to feel great. And even though I'm eating the steaks and I'm sleeping enough and I'm taking my vitamins, and still to function on no hormones in the luteal phase and to have progesterone go from that to that almost overnight is brutal, and it does affect your mind.
Now imagine that exacerbated and continuous. Imagine that. That's what menopause is. And that's also...
Wow, no, I can't fully imagine that.
But, if you can imagine how women have been treated for decades.
Yeah.
Being told, no, this is fine, this is normal.
They love to gaslight us.
Well,
just FYI, having been stuck in the medical system in 2024, doctors, ER doctors, they love to gaslight women. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt all doctors' feelings and generalize.
It's not all doctors.
It's not
there are
all,
some good ones.
And it's more men than female.
Sure.
I can tell you that.
Sure.
But I've been gaslit to no end.
Yeah. And, so imagine the millions and millions and millions of women who have been told, this is normal, there's nothing you can do about it, you just have to get through it. That's what women were told through menopause.
Or they put you on psych drugs, which I've never taken and I never will. But that's what I mean by the gaslighting. They'll also tell you without examining you that you have anxiety and you need to be on antipsychotics, antidepressants, SSRIs, benzos, all of that.
Well, so what's one of the side effects, the major side effects of declining sex hormones in men and women?
What is it?
Depression and anxiety.
Depression, anxiety.
You 100% have anxiety.
Sex, right? Yeah.
You 100% have anxiety. You 100% have depression. If you're a man or a woman with low hormones.
Yeah.
So how do you fix it? It's not from the Band-Aid method of big pharma. Here's your pill for your symptom. Here's your pill for your symptom. Here's your patch for your symptom. Here's this for your symptom. What's the root cause? So what we do here, we look at prevention, regeneration of what your body is doing. If you put your body processes back to normal, you live a better life. It's like, and here's the one thing that I don't want to say it irks me, but it's a question I hear so often, and I almost want to I would love to just tell everyone just straight away, like, well, do I have to take these hormones for the rest of my life? So, well, no, you don't have to. You can go back to feeling like shit.
Yeah. Not to mention, aren't
It's
you
real.
doing blood work regularly and
Sure.
things fluctuate?
Of course. Well, things are going to fluctuate. That's normal. That's a normal part of your life. But it's like, I have some men that are like, well, I've been on testosterone therapy. Do I have to take this for the rest of my life? If you want to feel good?
I can see that because I don't
Sure.
question my vitamins every day. I
Sure.
take my magnesium, my potassium, I take my basics.
Sure.
And I don't ever think I'm going to take it for 2 days and then I'm not going to take it for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, you're going to take it because it's helping you feel better.
Because I
It's helping
feel
your
better.
body work better.
For me, yes, for sure.
For people that need hormones,
Yeah.
when you need them. Now, again, going back to the bodybuilding thing, now that's misuse. There's a big difference. If you take Tylenol, if me and you have a headache, not that I take Tylenol, give me a better example. I don't even know. There's vitamins out there actually. Gary, we talked about this one time. I don't
B1 is
remember.
great. Magnesium glycinate's great.
But there's a vitamin that if you can overdose on it and die.
Oh, what is that?
I don't remember which one it is. We
Really?
could probably Google it.
Yeah.
But, or actually, no, nobody uses Google anymore. It's more ChatGPT, right?
Or Claude.
Yeah, or Claude. Claude is better. But there's a vitamin out there that if you take too much of it, you can actually die. So it's the same thing harm-wise as hormones. And even getting
But
into
look at coffee.
even getting
Coffee is
into
a poison in large amounts. Anything is.
anything is.
Yeah.
It's about using it the proper way.
Yeah.
But if we're going to go back to the Tylenol example, if I took a Tylenol because I have a screaming headache, you're fine. You're not going to die.
Yeah.
If I take a whole bottle of Tylenol, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, you may
course,
have,
yeah.
you may need to get your stomach pumped or something, but you're in a bad place.
Yeah.
So, when you look at the usage of hormones and the abuse of hormones, yeah, that's what's going to cause you problems. But if you're using it properly under managed care, you're getting blood work regularly, and you manage what that's supposed to be, it's nothing but great. There's no negative side effects when it's properly used. And I'm saying that with all confidence. You're saying, well, no side effects? No, zero.
But that's the tricky part is that, and I'll tell you because I've seen women in my age group in their 40s go through a lot, is that, for example, progesterone.
Sure.
Are you taking a cream? Are you taking a pill? Are you taking pellets to your butt? So it's so easy to misdiagnose.
Yeah.
I don't know about testosterone if it's as easy to misdiagnose as it is women because we're constantly changing, especially when we haven't gone through menopause.
Sure.
The fluctuations and the different forms of hormone therapy are just complicated.
Yeah. So with women, we usually suggest women get their lab work done
Often.
days 1 through 7 of their cycle.
Okay.
Because that's what we want to see. That's when we're going to see if it's too low.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you do it towards the end of your cycle, you're definitely low.
Yeah, of
right?
course, of course.
So
yeah.
that's why we do it that way. So we want to see kind of like the height of it. For women that are not cycling, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're already postmenopausal, it is only going to help you live longer to be on hormones. You can't refute the data. For women, what are the major things that happen post-menopause? Osteoporosis. Why is that happening? Testosterone. Seriously.
I
So-
ended up with that in my 40s, having regular cycles.
Sure. Was your testosterone low though? We don't know. We don't have historical lab work. Maybe.
I don't have historical lab work.
Yeah. So, but maybe we don't know. That's the hard part about it.
Wow.
When you look at women, another major thing is Alzheimer's and dementia. Major problem with women.
Major.
But postmenopausal. Why? Testosterone, estradiol, progesterone. All of them tie to your brain.
Yeah.
Same thing with men. Men, a lot of issues that happen later in life. The highest rate of suicide between men and women, men are way superior.
Men weigh 80%, right?
Yeah, way superior. We
get more depressed. You guys get more suicidal.
Yeah, we take a little more action on it, I guess.
Yeah, I was about
I hate to say it as horribly as that, but it is what it is.
We'll suffer with it. You guys are like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
We're like, we're
I'm
done.
not talking about my feelings. I'm out.
Yeah, but a lot of that
Horrible.
is tied to a low testosterone thing. We have guys that are military, ex-law enforcement, fire, you name it. One of the major issues with that kind of job and that kind of stress and that kind of work is declination of sex hormones, which is testosterone mainly. We have a military guy, I've told this story dozens of times on podcasts and interviews. He came in, ex-military, and he's been through the VA system, antipsychotics, antidepressants, suicidal tendency, everything in the book.
Yeah.
PTSD, you name it.
Yeah.
He came in with literally a grocery bag, like a Publix bag full of meds. And we tested testosterone. It was low. It was like 150. So, way under where he needed to be. VA wouldn't help him. We get him on testosterone therapy. He comes back, I want to say 8 to 10 weeks later, which was his follow-up appointment.
Yeah.
He's off of all medications. Not one, all.
Wow.
All medications are gone. His
feeling better.
depression is gone. His anxiety is gone. His suicidal ideations are gone. All this stuff is now disappeared. Blood pressure fixed. Cholesterol fixed. Weird,
From
right?
testosterone.
From getting testosterone back up. He had two reactions. One was gratitude. He was so happy this happened. The second was furious anger. This is a big guy. This is a big guy. He's pounding the table. Why the F didn't the, VA test this? Why didn't they care enough to test?
Because they get everybody on psych drugs is the answer.
Well, they gave him Band-Aids, which is unfortunately,
But those aren't even Band-Aids. Those cause suicide.
Well,
the
sure.
black label warning. So they get them on psych drugs instead of testosterone because that's how they make money.
Sure.
The pharmaceutical industry, so I'm talking about.
Of course.
And even though it says on there that it will make you suicidal, it doesn't matter because they get them hooked on that. So of course they're not going to put them on testosterone. Why would they?
Well, it fixes every problem. So
But they're not trying to fix them.
Exactly. They're trying to treat the symptoms. And by treating singular symptoms, which cause more symptoms, you have them on this hamster wheel of drug use, pharmaceutical drug use, right? That's covered by insurance or whatever, but still, people are getting paid, and that's how it works. And he was so mad about it, but, also grateful.
Yeah.
It's a crazy phenomenon that I see, but that's one of the reasons that I love what I do. It's one of the reasons I love these clinics, because I have stories like this constantly, whether it's a military guy like that or whether it's a postmenopausal woman who said, oh my God, you gave my life back. And then her husband will call and say, you gave me my wife back.
Wow.
And then he kind of like quietly, by the way, I can't keep up with her because she's chasing me around the house. Whatever you did to her, do to me.
That's awesome.
And then he gets on testosterone and then they're chasing each other around the house.
Yeah.
Save their marriage because they were done. They weren't intimate. They hated each other. They were constantly at each other's throats. But they weren't even themselves.
That's very cool. I mean, I can definitely see that. And although I've never tried hormone therapy myself of any kind, I do definitely understand what it feels like to be fatigued and lose some of your happiness. And it's brutal. Now, I haven't gone through menopause, right? So I don't actually know what that feels like. But I could see how when people get to an age and a stage where they're no longer interested in the opposite sex sexually, I can see how your happiness would decline.
Sure. But it's also a biochemical thing. Biochemistry, it's real in your body. And, if you ask anybody, do you feel well as you did maybe at 20? But most people are going to say no, right? How did you feel at 20 years old? Well, I was invincible. I could be out all night. I could sleep less. I could go skiing and fall down the entire mountain. I actually did that at 19 years old. Yeah. But if I did that now, I'm going to the hospital.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Even with optimal hormones, I'm 40 years old. I get it.
Yeah.
But at 18 years old, your body is such a high functioning machine.
Yeah.
So if you can tell somebody, make them understand, I can get your machine high functioning again. I can turn back that clock. I tell people that are like, when I do this like somewhat elevator pitch of like what I do, and they get it and it snaps people, they're literally looking at me like, can I give you my wallet? Like, take my money. You know what I mean?
Anything to be happy and feeling healthy again.
Health is wealth, man.
Health is wealth. And I like how you
true.
talk about that in the book too, by the way, that health comes before wealth.
Yes.
And I quoted it when I took it as a quote from your book. And I love that because the saying of you can have a million problems until you get sick and then you only have one problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Those problems all disappear, don't they?
Yeah. And then just your health. Nothing comes before that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anybody can put themselves in that situation where if you're a big baby like me, even if I have a cold, I'm like, this is awful. This is miserable. All I want to happen is this cold go away.
Yes.
But for people that like really like have a true health problem, a person going through cancer.
Yes.
Does it matter that they're a billionaire?
Nothing.
They would give all of it away.
Of course.
To feel healthy
dollar.
again.
Yeah.
To feel healthy again. So when I tell people and you think about this, it's like, man, you can really prevent a lot of this stuff. And now it's harder. Let's just be honest. And I go over this in the book too.
Yeah.
The world around us, I hate to be just so morose about it, but the world, it's like trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Our food is poison, especially here in America, and other places too, but America wins. We have the most toxic food.
Yes.
We have the most contaminated water, really.
It's brutal.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, and then, microplastics and
chemtrails and fluoride and seed oils, and it doesn't end.
You name it.
And Bill Gates at the helm of every new mosquito and fake meat and everything that exists. God bless his soul.
The tick stuff. Yeah, the tick stuff is crazy.
Yeah,
right?
I don't even want to go grounding anymore now that he's released the next stage of.
There's farmers finding them all over the place.
I've been seeing stuff on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if for people that don't know about this, it's scary, but you talk about biowarfare. Is it biowarfare? we can tinfoil hat this, you know what I mean? I have tinfoil hats upstairs.
You
by the
do?
way. Yeah, so I could put one on if I
grab
need.
some.
We'll put a metaphorical tinfoil hat on here. You know, is Big Pharma wanting people to be sick so they can sell more medication? I don't know. Was anybody around in 2020?
I mean,
You know how many
is there any other
trillions,
way
yeah.
that they make money?
You know how many trillions of dollars was made on vaccines and
Yes.
certain treatments that,
Yes.
you know, for a virus that may or may not have been man-made?
By the way, that still gets throttled. That one subject. I had a YouTube channel of celebrity interviews pre-COVID that had one interview with a celebrity on the jab, and YouTube took down my entire channel.
Oh, yeah.
Deleted it.
Oh, yeah.
It was around 2018 or something like that. And then I was talking to celebrity psychiatrists that I just did an interview with in Park City, Dr. Joseph. And of all his controversial videos on the harmful effects of psych drugs, the only one YouTube throttled was on that same topic. So it's still
happening.
It's still happening.
You can talk about a
Which
little
is
more.
shocking to me that it's even happening with this administration and Maha, but it's still happening.
Well, these are private companies. YouTube's private. It's Google.
True.
You know, it's a private company. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever
You
they
know,
want.
social media, Facebook and Instagram. I mean, Meta in general, if they don't want that stuff out there, they'll take it out. You know, and then you talk about news media and stuff like that. You know,
You're talking to a PR.
yeah, you're a PR person.
Yeah.
So this is what you
The
do.
propaganda is ridiculous.
Well, let's be real. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. You think they want to have me on their programs? No, every sponsor of every ad sponsor is a medical company.
Of course it is.
You know, I was watching, I was watching an NBA game. I rarely watch TV.
Yeah.
But I'm from Cleveland, and the Cleveland Cavaliers happen to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, or Eastern Conference Finals. They're not doing too well, but whatever. You know, New York's doing better. But I'm watching it. Every other commercial was for a drug, and I sat here and patiently listened instead of getting angry about it. And I'm sitting here listening. I'm like, okay, what is this drug treating? Whatever, whatever thing they have. Okay, great. Let's wait for the list of side effects. They're listing the side effects, by the way, while the person's like running in the park with a smile.
Oh, yeah. With
right?
butterflies.
With butterflies and rainbows.
butterflies,
Yeah. So, you know, and I'm hearing this and it's like the side effects are way worse than what the issue actually
Way
was.
worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. You understand, even when I was really sick in 2024, my heart would not stop racing. And despite CT scans, echocardiograms, and every test that you can do on the heart, my heart was perfect, but they couldn't stop my heart from racing. It was before I fixed all my vitamin deficiencies with my functional health doctor.
Sure.
But what they put me on, beta blockers, those made me very ill. So then they had the bright idea of putting me on ivabradine, which is the strongest drug there is for heart failure. But nothing is wrong with my heart. And it's still, and on my last hospitalization at Country Mease Hospital
Yeah, countryside, yeah.
for almost 2 weeks, they then just upped me to the highest dose of heart failure medication, the highest 7.5 milligrams. So I've been through it. And then when I finally found my Ayurvedic functional doctor, he said, Mirit, look at the side effects. It causes heart palpitations and a racing heart and nervousness. I was like, why am I feeling nervous? It says on there, it will cause that on top of a million other things.
Sure.
So even the only symptom it was supposed to stop, which is my heart's racing, it causes, but I was still on. I couldn't figure this out. When I was already so drugged and looped in that system, I'm not feeling good. I'm not sleeping for months. If I actually fall asleep in a hospital bed for 2 hours, they come to do vitals again. Nobody cares that you're not sleeping. They're feeding you peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in there. And then it's like, okay, but now for your low blood pressure, we'll also put you on flutocortisone, and it just doesn't end. And you just get sicker and sicker. By the time I left, I was like, never will you find me in the medical system again. I don't care if I had the C word.
Yeah.
I do not care what you give me. I'm handling it naturally, and I will never be stuck in that system again.
Yeah. So, you know, mainstream medicine is very, very good at one thing.
Emergency medicine and nothing else. No offense,
Really?
nothing else.
Truly. Yeah.
If I break something, I'm going in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you get in a car accident and you're all messed up, the best place for you is not in a red light therapy, but you need to go to the ER.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's be real about that. You know, hormone therapy is not going to help you there.
No.
So
Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later, right? Yeah, some peptides or something like that to help you heal faster. But, you know, they're really, really good at that emergency medicine part.
Yeah.
You know, and my business partner and the medical director, chief medical officer of my companies, his name's Dr. Joseph Clark. 20 plus years in emergency medicine. So he knows emergency medicine. He went and got trained. Actually, he and I did the WorldLink medical certification together.
Oh, wow. He went with you too.
He went with me. The first one we went in person to Salt Lake City, and Dr. Neil Rouzier, he's one of the OGs of hormone therapy. One of the OGs. This guy was doing hormone therapy when Arnold was competing.
Wow.
So we're talking,
Back
old school.
in the days.
Yeah, this guy's old school. And I remember him asking everybody in the room, and there was probably like 60, 70 people in there. Who is a gynecologist? Raise their hands. Who is a endocrinologist? Raise their hands. Who's emergency medicine? Raise their hands. Who's a nurse practitioner? Raise their hands. I'm sitting right in front of him. He's like, you didn't raise your hand.
Because I'm none of them.
He's like,
I'm a bodybuilder.
He's like, what do you do? I said, I own the clinics that this doctor works for. He's my business partner. And he stopped and he said, I didn't understand what he meant by this, but he told me later, he's like, you're the smartest person in the room. I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he explained it later during that course in front of everybody. And everybody scoffed at this, by the way. These are all doctors. I'm the only non-medical person in the building.
Yeah.
And he said, you haven't been tainted by the mainstream medical system. That was his point. Because everybody else is going to have a hard time understanding what he's saying. Because they're going to fight him. He's saying, no, don't do this. Do not put them on cholesterol medication. Fix this. Do not treat them for this. Look at their thyroid. And he's going at root cause. Root cause medicine is incredible.
Of course.
You can fix so many things by just targeting something internal that is triggering all these events.
100%. You know, many of my problems were solved with even more salt, although I was already taking a lot of salt.
Yeah.
Fixing the vitamin deficiencies,
Yep.
getting methylated vitamins, more sleep, the basic of the basics.
We tell everybody to fix those first.
Yeah.
Even,
You do even before you prescribe them hormone therapy?
Oh, we deny people all the time.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, and people look at us and, they're like, that's strange. I'm like, well, that's disingenuous.
Yeah.
That's being just like the old medicine model. The future of medicine is actually fixing the problems, not exacerbating it, but also not overloading people with medication. You want to have the most minimal intervention with the maximal effect.
There you go.
That's how medicine should be. So, and there's a lot of great clinics like mine out here, but there's a lot of bad actors as well.
Yes.
My industry is quite dirty, to say the least. And
I don't think that it's entirely dirty, but I think that it's also contaminated with less competent beings.
Yes, but it's, they're using the old model.
Oh, yeah.
In new age medicine.
No different than getting root canals today. They're still swearing by root canals. It's no different than that.
Yeah. I mean, pulling your wisdom teeth, all that stuff.
Been there, done that, paid the price.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're saying there's a lot of benefits to keeping your wisdom teeth. And, again, we can go into deep diving this,
Biological dentistry as well. Yeah.
Well, why do people get their wisdom teeth pulled? Well, they don't have enough room in their mouth. Why don't they have enough room in their mouth?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know about this? About the facial bone structure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So why do people not have enough room for their wisdom teeth? They're supposed to have room there. Why don't you? Well, because you were fed soft foods your entire life in the beginning. You want to know what my daughter was doing? At 6, 7, 8 months old, she's biting off ribeyes.
So good. This is so good.
Truly.
Yeah.
She's eating hard foods. Choking hazards, this and that. It's like, listen, guys, humans have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
We managed to I don't even know how I'm alive when I hear some of this stuff that people they're like, oh, well, what about this and what about that? And put them to bed this way and do this thing. I'm like, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
The way I was raised, we didn't even have seatbelts.
We had nothing.
We
drink out of the hose.
Yeah.
Somebody was joking. I saw these videos on the internet on how soft teenagers are today, and they talk about their workout routines. And the lady's like, honey, in the 90s, I was snorting cocaine and running around in high heels, and nothing was wrong with me. We really did. The 90s were a different generation.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, up until 2010.
Yeah.
It was different.
It was different. It was, I will give you something to cry about.
Well, there was somebody.
You were not allowed to cry?
There was a social media video. I think I sent it to you. And there was a social media video, and they were talking about, so what? You guys are drinking out of the hose.
I saw that.
And you know what I'm talking about? And she's like, we were
not allowed in the house.
We were not allowed in the house.
We were not allowed in the house. Remember, Mom was cleaning the house. Get out. For how long? The entire day.
You came back when the streetlights came on.
Yeah.
And then she was talking about the news.
They would forget, so they had a 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock
Do you know
news.
where your kids are?
Do you know where your children are? That's real.
Yeah. Of course.
Now you have these helicopter parents that are constantly watching. I'm like, you got to let these kids breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta let them breathe. You gotta let them develop.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back into the health thing, these kids are growing up malnourished,
Completely.
riddled with toxins and poisons and microplastics and you name it. I mean, it's
Vaccinated,
hard.
all of it, the whole thing.
Well, so here.
Sorry to say the V word again in case we get
Listen,
throttled.
it's fine.
on first time was on you, now it's on me.
I'll say it straight away. And I've made viral videos about this, about my daughter not having a single vaccine.
That's how I raised mine.
Sure.
But imagine 24 years ago how controversial that was.
40 years ago, I never have been vaccinated.
Really?
Yeah, my brother either.
No way.
Yeah. So my mom denied
your mom
everything.
is epic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mom denied. My mom was like, "No, they're perfect. They don't need anything."
No way.
Oh yeah. So she denied
you beat
everything.
me. I've never heard of anyone that beat me.
Yeah. So 85.
And no vaccine.
Back then there were only like maybe 7 or 8.
There weren't a lot.
There wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
And I do have some parents that'll message me, especially after I made that video, and they're like, well, what if I just follow the 1980s vaccine schedule? I said, I wish I could say that was good.
Why follow any vaccine schedule?
Sure.
I didn't do anything with my kids. 24 years.
And they're probably much healthier.
They grew up with
My daughter is extremely healthy. I mean, she's running circles around everybody. She's smart. She's talking in full sentences. Doesn't stop. 2.5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She is learning at a faster pace than everybody in her age group that has had all those medications.
Yeah. I got a lot of slack for it though over
yeah.
the years
Oh, yeah,
and then
course.
24 years ago is a long time ago. If God forbid they had a cold or something or a flu where I had to take them in or something was injured, I mean the doctors looked at me like I was insane and made me wrong and all of that I basically brought them in and endangered the hospital. And I've asked one doctor, I was like, wait, if all the kids in here are vaccinated, how is my child endangering your hospital?
Yeah.
Aren't the other kids endangering my kids by that little logical statement that you just made? I could never make sense of it.
During that 2020, 2021 time frame that we all know of.
Yeah.
That weird time and place in the world, I would have people yelling at me about not having my jab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got yours, right?
Yeah. So what
They're
are you worried about?
I'm like, aren't you protected?
What are you worried about?
Aren't you protected?
Yeah. And all the boosters they got as well.
Listen, to each their own. I have no issue at all with someone making the conscious choice to get whatever they want.
100%.
But don't force me.
100.
Don't force my daughter.
It's so true. I have no issues with how people eat.
No.
None.
Eat how you want.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell people that there's a better way of doing it.
Completely.
And now if you don't think that I eat some bad food here and there, of course I do. But although I'm going to tell you something, it made me kind of sad. And I sent this to my team and it was talking about the seed oil thing. And I was like, because I love cheat meals. And when I was bodybuilding.
You were hungry.
Listen, I had some epic cheat meals.
I can imagine.
And I was so lean and I would get very, very lean very quickly. So I had to have these refeeds. And I would literally be told, go get 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 orders of fries, and a large pizza. And I would eat that whole thing. And the next morning I'd be shredded veins everywhere, all this craziness. My body was machine at that point. So I found out recently about seed oils and how long they stay in your body. It ruined cheat meals for me forever.
It's brutal. I won't touch it.
Well, see, but I mean, I like a pizza sometimes. I like a burger sometimes. I want to eat some crappy food sometimes because I like it sometimes, right?
But you have to kind of weigh
the
consequences of it.
And I didn't think that it was going to be in my body for so long. They said it takes 2 years for your body to rid yourself of the toxicity from seed oils and all this other crap.
That's brutal.
I'm like,
no.
Well, that ruined it.
Yeah, right? You know Anthony Chafee, the carnivore doctor.
Yeah, of course.
So they've asked him, do you do cheat meals? And he's like, would you ask a heroin addict if they take heroin once in a while?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He said, absolutely not.
That's a good way of putting it.
Right? Yeah.
Well, so what I do instead is I'll fabricate my own cheat meals because you can make a healthy cheeseburger.
100%.
You can make a healthy pizza.
Yeah.
Actually, go to Italy.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Okay. You have pizza in Italy?
Yes.
Okay. So pizza in Italy doesn't make you feel like crap.
No.
It doesn't make you fat.
No.
It doesn't make you sluggish.
Yeah.
You actually feel okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference? It's the ingredients.
Of course.
So bread. If you eat bread out of a grocery store in the United States, you are crazy.
No matter what bread, even the sourdough bread, if you look, they all have seed oils in them.
Well,
I'm carnivore now. I don't touch any of it, but they all have seed oils in them.
My mom makes sourdough bread. It's got 5 ingredients. He's had it. My whole team in the clinic has had it. My team upstairs have had it.
And they love it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But if you go and buy bread at a store, how many ingredients are supposed to be in bread? 4 to 5. So water, flour, yeast, salt. So let's say that's the 4.
Yeah.
The average bread at a grocery store has 15.
Awful.
And we're not even going to get into the quality of the flour and everything else, but there's a reason that I can go to Italy and Croatia and even the Middle East. I'll be in Dubai in 10 days, and then I'll be in Poland after that.
To that thing you said I'm not allowed to come to.
Unfortunately.
I tried signing up. I got rejected.
Yeah. You would have been the only woman, and unfortunately, it's not even us. The facility will not allow it.
Yeah, it's so funny. And I'm so not that girl that's like tomboy. I'm like the exact opposite. I'm like, wait, you're going where?
You wouldn't have had fun.
There's no way.
You would have hated it.
A bunch of CIA agents and no.
There's a lot of
I won't even go camping these days. That's how bad
I mean, we were just talking. We had a couple guys coming from like Syria and, places that, they're
a bunch of alpha dog males going shooting.
Yeah.
Tactical
We're
training.
doing a bunch of tactical training.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be in Poland for. But when I'm there, I will be losing weight because the food is just such a high quality.
Yeah.
Where here, I have to be so careful. And, it's not just me that I'm worried about. It's my family.
Yeah.
It's my daughter, So I have to be so careful on what I'm feeding her because I don't want her to have hormonal damage when she's going through puberty.
Absolutely.
Or fertility damage or something like that because she's eating all these seed oils, microplastics, preservatives, artificial colors.
And your bones not fully developing as they could be when you're young. I'll tell you, that's the opposite of how I grew up. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Nigeria, Africa, and the only drink I remember was Fanta and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And so my entire young years and junior high and high school, and since I was a kid, they let me drink coffee with tons of sugar in it. So it was Coca-Cola and coffee.
Okay.
And I remember even waking up at 6 a.m, not feeling good as a teenager and running to the pantry, drinking a Coke and going back to sleep.
Wow.
And then I'm surprised that I developed osteoporosis in my 40s. But you see, you don't even give yourself a chance to develop properly.
Yeah.
And that's not even uncommon the way I grew up.
Sure.
Drinking sodas, there's nothing uncommon about that. I didn't as an adult, but I did enough damage in all of my developmental years to pay for it into my adulthood.
Yeah, so I mean, the way that we grew up, it was a very Balkan household.
Yeah.
I grew up extremely poor.
Yeah.
So we only ate what was cooked at the house. There was no going out to dinner, none of that kind of stuff. Mom cooked or grandma cooked or my aunt cooked.
Yes.
And it was all real food.
Good, healthy food, yeah.
And we didn't drink soda because we couldn't afford it.
Wow. Yeah.
You drank water, you drank milk.
Wow.
That's what you drank. You didn't have a choice.
And that's totally fine. That's actually good.
I mean, that's I think I credit my health. I credit that 1,470 testosterone level to my family.
Yeah.
Because I was eating real hearty food from real sources. I mean, we would go to the Croatian bakeries and the Croatian butchers and stuff like that. We're eating real food.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
The problem now is that, again, you have these people and, going back to the denial of medications. When I see a kid come in here, 25 years old, sometimes younger, and they're out of shape. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of fat. They're depressed. They're anxious. They have all these issues, right? And I'm looking at them, and we'll let them get their labs tested because I want them to have the data, of course. Their testosterone, let's say, comes back under 500. The doctor tells them they're normal.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Because over 300 is normal.
Yeah.
Sure it is. So they're coming back, they're low, and I'm looking at them like, you need to be at 900 to 1200. Well, can I start TRT? I said, what's your lifestyle like? And these are the practitioners are saying this too. What's your lifestyle like? Well, I'm sedentary. They start telling me what they're doing. They're playing video games all day. They're not exercising. They're not out in the sun. Yeah, sun's not bad for you, by the way.
Clearly.
It's crazy.
Clearly.
So they start telling me all this stuff or telling my practitioners this. What our staff will do, if we can mitigate something, we will. If they're morbidly obese, we're going to help them. But lifestyle first, because a lot of what they're experiencing can be corrected.
100%.
Diet, exercise, sleep. Half these young people are staying up all night.
And are deconditioned.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. You can be in as good of shape as you are and get a flu for a few weeks and you get deconditioned. Mm-hmm. Some people are not moving for months and years.
Oh, yeah.
Minimal movement.
Do you count your steps during the day?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a 10,000 step rule.
Yeah.
That's low, by the way.
That's what saved me when I got out of the hospital system. I just went walking every day for up to 10,000. Even if I felt like I couldn't, my heart was racing.
Yeah.
I did my every single day religiously, and I healed probably just mostly from that. And reversed my osteoporosis in under a year.
Well,
I was already exercising. I was already walking.
Sure.
But just fixing all the nutritional things with the walking. I didn't do heavy. You know, they say you need to weight lift to fix your house. I was weightlifting. I was doing progressive muscular overload, ended up with osteoporosis, but just continuing movement and fixing deficiencies, I managed to reverse it in under a year.
Yeah. I mean, there's that saying, a body in motion stays in motion, right? And a body at rest stays at rest. I have a hard time resting even if I get like a cold or something.
Yeah.
I'll keep moving.
Same.
If I get like sick, which is very rare.
Yeah.
But if I like get a flu or something, which I think I've had maybe the flu twice in 15 years.
Wow.
One of the last times I remember getting the flu is when everybody else got a flu shot.
Yeah.
Everybody around me got a flu shot and then I got the flu.
They're shedding on you.
I don't know, something.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, if you're in motion, and that 10,000 steps, by the way, that's like, they say that's
minimum.
That is really minimum.
That is really, and sometimes I'm only in at 5.
Yeah.
I try, you know, but the days when I've had more than 10, I feel great. It's just time consuming.
Of course.
It's really time consuming.
I mean, whenever I'm overseas, whether it's Middle East, Europe, wherever I go, or if I like to travel to mountainous regions.
Yeah.
So I love going hiking.
Yeah.
And when I look at my step counts when I'm traveling versus when I'm here, it's insane.
It is.
You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting 15, 20, 25,000 steps. No wonder I feel great.
You do so much better. In Monaco last week,
Sure.
15,000 steps. In
Really?
France, yeah. It's like you're walking. You're walking uphill, you're walking everywhere when you're in Europe and abroad.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about another part of the book. So this is one of those viewpoints that challenged me. And at first I disagreed. You're not even going to guess
That's
what
okay.
it was. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So Stoicism.
Okay.
I've heard it in your videos.
Mm-hmm.
You mention it in the book. And my first instinct is to disagree because I don't believe in being stoic in life. I went out of my way and I looked up the word
Okay.
just to make sure that I have at least the correct definition.
Sure.
And it was cool. I found some definitions that talk about that being stoic is not necessarily about being without emotion. It's not about not having emotion, but about having control of your emotion and not reacting to things.
Okay.
And after that, I fully agree with you.
What was your idea of Stoicism before you looked that up? I'm just curious.
Probably because I studied philosophy in college.
Okay.
So it was more of the non-pleasure and non-emotion, old definitions of being stoic.
Okay.
And I had to do a little more research. And then once I read the definitions where it doesn't mean you're emotionless, it just means that you are calm and in control, you're not reacting to things.
Yes.
Then I will admit that I was in agreement with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, and that's what this book is supposed to do. And that's what I think all this stuff is supposed to do. Like, I'm not here to convince somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to, and I don't think you are either.
No.
I think we're here just to put out a different perspective.
Yeah.
Put out some information and make people think.
Make America think again?
That's
you
a
want to
good
come
one.
up
Yeah,
with that
we
one?
need to come up with that
Make
one.
America think again.
You know, I mean, I've seen so many of these Make America blank again things.
Mata is our new thing.
Well, there's a Make Men Men Again.
I love that.
That's
yes,
one that I
please.
saw recently.
Yeah.
Make Men Men Again, which is probably
I fully approve that one.
sorely needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make women.
Make women women again.
Yeah, that's approved as well.
I mean, you know, then you're going to say, what's a woman?
I love those videos. I love the videos of what's a woman, what's a man, and they refuse, doctors refusing to answer.
Listen, politics needs to stay out of health. And,
I agree.
And, you know, like, put politics aside. It doesn't matter. I don't even, I have friends from all sides of politics.
Same.
And I should.
Yeah.
And I want to hear them.
Yeah.
Now, are there wild extreme views on both sides? Yes. Really, most of the world lives right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You know, I try to stay away from the political side on this, you know, but when we're talking about this, you know, Stoicism thing and talking about what does that mean? And I love that you were challenged by that, which is great.
I was.
I mean, there's probably...
My first instinct was, no, I don't agree.
I love it.
And so then I made sure I understand the word.
Sure.
And I really looked it up and looked at various definitions. And then once I fully understood your definition of it, I was like, yeah, I fully agree with this.
Yeah, so it was something that was instilled in me at a very young age from my mother originally. and she would tell me, she said, this is when I was a very hormonal, angrier teenager, right?
Yeah.
When you're in that place, and, I didn't have a father figure. My father left early. My mother and father got divorced. I had a stepfather, so to speak, who killed himself when I was a teenager. So both father figures ripped out of my life early,
Wow.
right? So, there was some latent anger and stuff like that there. My mom would tell me over and over again, she said, the only way to control the world around you is by first controlling yourself.
Wow.
And she would say this over and over again. And it would annoy me at that time.
Of course.
But when I look at it, it's like, okay, control myself. How do I control myself? That really is the bottom line of Stoicism.
Yeah.
Because when you look at whatever's happening in your existence,
yeah,
and things happen constantly. I've lost fortunes of money. I've gained fortunes of money. I've had awful things happen to me. I've went through bad breakups.
Yeah.
I'm divorced. So like all these things are like the worst days of people's lives.
Utter failures.
Sure. But failure is perception, right? So it's like, I heard this from somebody else, but I took it in so much. The worst things that ever happened to me are the best things that ever happened to me. I could not be more certain that's the truth. That job that I didn't get, that's the promotion that led you to quit your job and start an entrepreneur journey, the thing that happened in my law enforcement career that led me down an entrepreneurship path,
Yes.
the divorce from somebody that was the wrong relationship, right? But like, if you look at everything like that, and this is something that I don't think I came up with it, but I say it constantly. I don't know where it came from. I said that I never lose, because you said failure.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I don't lose. I can't lose. I win or I learn. If you frame everything like that and you see everything as a lesson and not a failure, your life will be so much better. And that's somewhat part of Stoicism. Don't let these outside things you can't control affect you. You can't do anything about it. That thing that happened to you, let it go. Keep moving. You have so many years left of life.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I look at Stoicism. But yeah, I mean, I'm super happy that challenged you personally.
It did.
And it caused you to look it up.
Yeah.
And if people just
Because before I judge something or make it wrong, I like to make sure that I fully understand what it is that I'm disagreeing with.
And there may be portions of Stoicism that I don't even agree with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm a Stoic expert,
Yeah.
but I know it enough. I know it enough to know that it does help me.
Yeah.
Because I think reacting out of pure emotion,
Yeah.
I think is not the right way of doing things.
No.
You know what I mean? I think you need to have some logic behind it. I think you need to control yourself.
Yeah.
Being out of control, I think, is the worst thing that we see today
Yes.
in society.
It is.
Because that out of control, that ends up, you're reacting out of anger, or reacting out of sadness, reacting out of whatever. If people just took a breath, absorbed it, let it settle a little bit, and then you move forward with action steps, not tirades.
Of course. And I fully agree with that. Yeah. Reactivity is never a good thing.
Sure.
But I also would prefer that people express their emotions than bury them. Maybe I have in the past, where you're really upset, you're really sad, and you don't feel like you can communicate about it, especially to me with men, ending up with heart attacks and depression and being suicidal and not feeling like they can express anything. I would almost prefer to see a man express anger if he needs to sometimes. Not in me, I don't want him attacking me, but I'm saying expressing an uncomfortable emotion than harboring it all inside. Now, I'm a PR person. I obviously think people should have good manners, and I'm not going to be reactive in life. But I think there's a nice balance between feeling like you can emote. It's okay to be angry. Somebody made you to feel angry at least.
Sure.
And if someone died, it's okay to be sad, or if you went through a breakup. But I also learned, that I can take a walk. I don't need to dump that on people and make everybody around me upset because I felt upset. Men are emotional.
We are.
But they don't feel like they can express their emotions as much as women can.
Because they perceive it as weakness because they were told that.
Little boys, don't cry.
Sure. It's
tough.
a...
You're expected to be tough.
Here's the thing. And if you tie that into a Stoicism way of thinking, you can emote. You can feel sadness. You don't need to be out of control in sadness.
Yeah.
You can shed a tear. You can feel sad. Do you need to sob uncontrollably for hours and hours and days and weeks and weeks? Probably not. Women or men.
No.
Right?
And I think our parents knew that with I'll give you something to cry about. If you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. It was used on us.
And I mean, whether or not we turned out okay is a
Different story.
It depends on,
We're definitely stronger.
Yes. But men being emotional does not equate to a feminine state of emotion. That's what I think needs to be said. I think men need to realize that. And I mean, I came from a career where PTS, I don't call it PTSD because I don't think it's a disorder.
Yeah.
I think it's post-traumatic stress.
I agree. 1,000,000%.
Putting the disorder on there makes it some kind of diagnosis of some kind. I've never had PTSD, but I have definitely had PTS.
Exactly.
Post-traumatic stress, 100%. I mean, I've seen countless people die.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the most horrible things in humanity for over a decade.
Yeah.
12 years in law enforcement. I saw a lot, and I was kind of a shit magnet. So, I saw a lot of stuff, and I've almost been killed dozens of times. I've been shot at. I've had knives pulled on me. I've had fights for my life on the ground where I basically have to stop this guy from trying to kill me until my backup gets there.
Yeah.
So like that's real life stuff that I went through.
Yeah.
Some of the most traumatic stuff was nothing to do with me. It was with other people. Seeing a child, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It weighs on you.
Of course it does.
I didn't talk about it for a long time. And I remember in my late 20s with the woman that I was with, and I would come home and I worked this weird shift. It was Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
It was like my whole shift, my 40 hours in one weekend.
Yeah.
And I would come home and it was like 1 a.m. on Sunday night. And I'm on a midnight shift, so I stay up a little bit late, right? Yeah. So I come home and I would like sit there and I'd watch a movie. And like some weekends I'd come home, and she told me this later on after we split. And she's like, and we're still friends. She told me that she's like, you'd come home and we'd have a movie on and you would stare at an empty wall and not say anything for hours.
Wow.
And she's like, I didn't know what to do.
Holy smokes.
Because I was trying to process everything that I saw. And my thing was, I didn't want to talk to her about it because I felt like that was putting traumatic events or scenes on her, which was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
I probably should have talked to her a little bit about it. I could have spared her some of the gory details.
Yes.
But I would basically hide it because I didn't want to burden her with it. And men feel this way.
Yeah.
Men feel like, okay, well, it's my pain. I don't want to put that pain on somebody else.
Yes.
But if you can't talk to your spouse or, your girlfriend or a family member, talking to somebody in your career. So if I should have maybe talked to police officers.
Yes.
Friends of mine.
Yeah.
But even then we were kind of like.
Men don't really talk to each other about things like that so much, right?
I think it's starting to happen more now. I think people are starting to realize that it is important. Some of my best friends I have very deep conversations with.
Yeah.
Some of the people that I spend a lot of time with, we have real deep conversations and they're about pretty emotional stuff.
Love that.
It's not feminine.
No.
It's actually the most masculine thing you can do because you can't be an effective man if you're harboring all this stuff. Because look at what I was I an effective partner when I was staring at the wall in silence for 2 hours after my shift? No, I was not an effective man.
Yeah.
So it's, you have to be able to have that emotion. You have to be able to voice it and you got to feel it.
Yeah.
And I think men have this idea where it's like, oh, well, if I cry in front of my woman, they're going to think I'm less of a man. I don't think women even think that.
No.
If you're doing it all the time.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, we really don't.
But I mean, if you're crying every night to your woman and you're like a giant emotional mess, well, now that's out of control. But, you have a cry once in a while.
Women are very empathetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that in reality, people understand that people have hard lives.
Yeah.
So if a man is going to come and trust in a woman and man, I'm having a really hard time with this, man, that woman's probably going to be really like in love with that idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a woman's job, is to be in a safe space for a man. It's the only place where a man can be soft in life and not be punished for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I learned that best when I had a daughter. You want to see men turn into giant piles of mush?
Yes.
Give that man a daughter.
Yes.
God gave me a daughter for a reason.
Of course.
Because when you see me around her, I'll be, I can look quite intimidating when I want to, and I'll look a certain way and I'll have that, we call it a Balkan smile.
Yeah.
It's like, show me a Croatian guy who's happy. Show me a Croatian guy who's sad. It's like, it's real. It's that Balkan look. But when I'm around my daughter, I'm like, oh, baby
ball.
girl.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you know, whatever we want. Let's play with little tea sets. I will sit on the smallest chair
You wear princess clothes if you have to.
if I have to.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that'll come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She hasn't gotten there yet, thank goodness. I haven't had my nails painted yet, but I'm not having her paint her nails yet either. She's 2.5. She's little.
It's too little.
You know, but that's real masculinity. Real masculinity has a lot of emotion in it because we're meant not only to, I believe in that provide and protect. I'm old school when I think of that stuff.
That shouldn't be old school.
I know it shouldn't be. But I feel that women have this feminine nature about them. Men have this masculine nature about them. But men have a skewed version of what masculinity is, especially now.
Yeah.
Right? But men are supposed to be providers and protectors.
Right.
That doesn't just mean provide and protect in the most physical way.
Yeah.
We're supposed to provide emotional support.
Yes.
We're supposed to provide.
You're the stable ones with just testosterone usually running the show.
We're supposed to be more stable.
Yeah.
You know?
You are.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to that make men men again. Right?
100%.
You know? So, you know, but there's been a societal shift over how many decades, right? Mm-hmm. And they've pushed women to become more masculinized.
Yes.
They push men to become more feminized.
Correct.
When it's completely flipped this whole dynamic.
100%.
It's crazy.
But if you asked women if there was a real zombie apocalypse right now, and here there were 100 women, and there was one man, which group do you think I would go in? Now, even if he's not a big man, a strong man, I'm going with a man.
Yeah. Well, and you know, why is that?
Because I know he can protect me better than...
You hope.
It's more likely.
Today you got to be careful.
Yeah, but it's more likely. It's
more
right?
likely.
Yeah, it is more likely.
We're good at different things, and we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're literally, you know, yin and yang.
We're polarities.
We're polarities.
I posted a video on that yesterday on, you know, oh, you did, yeah.
I saw it, yeah.
We're supposed to be soft because men get everything they need out of men.
Yeah.
Fun,
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
competition, all of those amazing things. And literally the only thing we can offer men is softness and femininity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we don't offer, I feel like somebody's going to blow up at the video and say, we offer so much more. Of course we do, but other men don't offer softness to men.
If they do, there's some other things going on.
That's a different, we won't even, yeah, that's a whole other, yeah.
We are meant to be what we are,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not saying we're all the same. I'm not saying all women are supposed to be exactly the same. All men are supposed to be exactly the same. There are variances,
Yeah.
but women in hormones, you are the opposite of what I am.
Yes.
I have super high testosterone. My progesterone is almost non-existent. My estrogen is pretty low. Your estrogen is high.
Yes.
Your progesterone is high. Your testosterone is on the lower end.
Yep.
There's a reason for that.
There is a reason for that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way that we behave is because of that.
Yeah.
So when you start having, about sociodynamics, you start having men with very low testosterone.
Yeah.
What are you having? You're having basically ineffective men.
Yeah.
These men are growing up with lower and lower testosterone levels. They're not actually blossoming and becoming men.
That's right.
I'm seeing these young men, and I'm saying men, these are in their 20s.
Yeah.
They can't grow facial hair.
That's trippy.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like there's something wrong, but there might be. Weird.
It is weird.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, are you not developing properly? And if you are starting your journey, pubescent area, prepubescence, if you're starting that journey as a man or as a woman with inadequate hormones, you're having a brain development issue as well because your brain needs hormones to develop.
That's right.
It all correlates.
It all ties in together.
Yeah,
I love
really
I love that everything we're talking about always ties into hormones and men and women. And I mean, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
real.
basis of everything. It really is.
It's real. You know, and our fertility, you know, are you looking at the replacement rate for fertility? Have you seen this?
I'm on the opposite end. I got pregnant with 2 kids. I know everybody's struggling with this, and I have many
Sure.
friends with a lot of fertility issues.
How old are they?
My friends
Yeah.
that are struggling with
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
40s.
It was non-existent for women and men to be having, well, men, yes, but women specifically, 30s and 40s, they were not really having kids at that point.
Yeah.
They were having them in their early 20s.
Early, which is when I was early 20s and then 30.
Yeah.
You know, I had another one.
Yeah.
And today, I still don't think I would have fertility issues. I don't know why. Maybe I made that up.
No, you're
but,
not.
but also at my age, don't want to have kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
I get it. But you talk about the issues with hormones and everything that's destroying our hormones.
Yeah.
There are countries now. Poland is one.
Yeah.
I think I just heard it from Russia as well. And I know that in there's a couple Asian culture countries. I don't know which ones they are. They're talking about the replacement rate of their population. There's only like 3 countries, or 3 general areas in the world that are birthing at a replacement rate.
Wow.
Every other place, they're saying that humanity, if we don't start actually making more babies, humanity is going to decrease in population by 50% in the next 150 years.
Wow. Bill Gates will be very happy to hear this.
Is it on purpose?
Of course it's on purpose.
Shall I get my tinfoil hat?
Of course. Go grab it.
Shall I
wait.
Shall I
Go
get
get
the
it,
tinfoil hat, put this on?
Yeah.
Why do they not want us to have babies? Why are they putting, is this all part of a plan?
Yeah. 100%.
There
is suppression on this planet.
Sure.
And there are top suppressive beings causing that, right? At the very top.
Sure.
And I doubt that there's anybody out there who still thinks that's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I get surprised every day.
Okay.
At some of the people that still call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, listen, I said either I'm a conspiracy theorist or I'm Nostradamus, because all my conspiracies are coming true.
Yeah, they're all.
You know what I mean?
All of them.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But I still have people that will argue with me. I have nutritionists, college educated, master's degrees in nutrition.
Yeah.
That will say seed oils are good for you. Well, are you crazy?
I've heard a little bit, even though I'm not on that algorithm.
Sure.
But once in a while, I will get stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, I won't even use olive oil today.
Well, most olive
And
oil.
I definitely won't. Yeah, I'm not even getting into that rabbit hole. I have researched the top olive oils. I definitely am not cooking with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's butter, ghee, tallow, maybe coconut oil,
Yeah.
and that's the limit of
Yeah.
what I'm using in my food.
Yeah. So, olive oil is not really supposed to be cooked with anyway.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a finisher.
Yeah.
Really, it has a low smoke point. So
Yes.
it's,
But it
it's
is
talking food.
Yeah, but even healthy people do cook with it. And
Sure.
so
Well, most of the olive oil that you have out in the public right now that is for consumption. So there's not enough. All right, let me just say this.
yeah.
There's not enough olive trees and olives in the world to supply the world with the amount of olive oil you see on shelves right now.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Half of it is mixed, half of it is GMO, half of it is not even real olives.
Yep. But a lot of people actually don't know that.
It kills me.
Yeah, me too.
When you taste real olive oil, it's different.
It is.
I have 3 bottles of Croatian olive oil at my house right now.
I'd like
that
one.
I bought when I was in Croatia. I'll bring you one back.
I would like one.
So there is a company that's actually exporting them now.
Oh, nice.
But you can't get them at a grocery store.
Yeah, of course
So
not.
there's no trade agreement.
No.
So small farms that are making olive oil, if you get it from the farm, I would say you might be able to trust it.
Yeah.
If you're not,
Forget it.
I don't know what you're eating.
I just went farm shopping this weekend. Get eggs, to get some meat. It was great.
Eggs are a problem too.
Yeah.
See the
are.
high, I saw something, I think it was Costco, which I don't shop at Costco, but several friends do. You?
A few, but just a few. Tomo.
Sorry.
Just a few. Just a few things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not totally hating on Costco.
Yeah,
They have
I
some great
do.
stuff too.
I get my A2 yogurt there.
Okay.
Religiously.
Okay.
That's one. I'm carnivore, so I'm very limited.
Sure.
And they don't have amazing organic any meats, but I'll get some cheeses there.
I'm not a big fan of their meats
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Grass finished.
Is not there. But I get some cheeses.
say it is.
I get yeah.
Yeah, they say it is not.
Yeah, no. It's definitely not.
So the eggs, they were saying because of what the chickens are fed.
Yeah.
So majority of your eggs out in the wild, right? I'm talking about the wild being grocery stores. They are fed corn, soy, and largely GMO feeds
100%.
that are riddled with seed oils.
Yeah.
So I think the stat was 4 eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, so me eating 9 is a big difference, but a lot.
I'm pushing it at 4. I'm
Yeah.
like dying.
But if you eat 4 of these eggs that are, what is it, high PFOAs? Am I saying that right? I think it's PFOAs, which is basically the seed oil stuff.
Yeah.
So you eating 4 eggs, you may as well drink a glass full of seed oils.
Nice.
I read this, I'm like,
I'm very glad I just got that many eggs at a farm in Tampa. Yeah.
Well, but you have to check the farm.
Yeah.
What are they feeding? Because a lot of these local farms,
They're supposedly not feeding
that's
any
good.
of that.
If you ask
but
them,
yeah.
they'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We did, yeah.
So I found one egg brand that I can find at a grocery store.
Which-
Because even called Organics, Nicks. So
Yeah.
the guy's name is Nick, I assume. But it's Organics. And it says on there, no corn, no soy, no GMO, basically free range chickens.
That's awesome.
So as soon as I saw what they're fed, I'm like, okay, perfect.
You're like approved.
I-
It's not that easy being crunchy at this level. Every year I get crunchier and crunchier, and it's not the easy.
It's a new term, by the way. I just learned
crunchy. I learned it last year. Somebody called me that, and I was like, "What is crunchy?" And as soon as I looked it up, I was like, "This is me.
Yeah.
This is literally my entire life."
My daughter's mother actually used the term about a year ago. She's like, "Yeah, I was called a crunchy mom." I said, "What the hell's a crunchy mom?"
It's a compliment.
I guess it is. Yeah.
In the highest form.
So being this level of crunchy. I mean, I'm big on water. I'm big on, so I only drink out of my house water.
Yeah.
Right now I have a Fiji right here, which is not good water.
They're not good. I was going to tell you, they're not good water.
This is not good water,
Yeah.
but it's one of the lower in microplastic.
Yeah.
It's not great water,
Yeah.
but it's lower in microplastics. And, I can do what I can do.
I'm out and about too. I have a bottle in my car. I have my Voss that I keep refilling.
And I used to think the glass bottles were better.
Yeah.
They're not. Oh,
What do you do at home? Reverse osmosis?
yeah. I have a whole house system and I have a reverse osmosis under my sink.
Yeah.
The biggest issue with reverse osmosis water, obviously, is the remineralization.
Yeah.
There is a remineralizer in it, but it doesn't taste quite right.
But I don't care about that because distilled water is the best. I put electrolytes and salt. I mineralize my water. So I don't care if you take all the bad things and the good things out of it, go ahead.
Yeah.
I prefer to drink distilled water. I used to be spring. Now I'm distilled reverse osmosis, obviously best. But when I'm out and about, distilled.
It was good.
Yeah. I have electrolytes in my purse, salt at all times.
So I'll do my reverse osmosis. And have you ever seen the live water things that spin the water?
Yeah.
So I have one of those. So I'll take the reverse osmosis, I'll put it in that carafe.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the spinner. It'll spin it, turn it into quote unquote live water.
Yeah.
We're getting super crunchy now.
Yeah, we are we're giving it away.
Yeah. It'll be live water now. And then I'll add salt to that water.
That's awesome.
And it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
And it's,
Make sure it's just pink moon salt that you add to the
So
water.
I have some now.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Yeah. So I can't wait to have your salt, by the way. So I've been using like Maldon salt and stuff like that, which is okay.
I tell people, look, yes, I have my own salt company and it's a premium salt, but just don't have just don't have the table salt. It has anti-caking agents in it. They strip it of all its mineral content. They bleach it. Just don't have that salt. Even if you're having the pink salt from China, yes, it has heavy metals. It's still going to be better than the table salt.
Yes.
And if you're dying, then even have table salt. Just don't drink water.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, there's levels to it.
There's levels.
And I tell everybody, because I would make these videos out there on my social media. Anybody's consumed my social media content, they're like, okay, Tomo, everything is going to kill me. What do I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every day you tell me a new thing that's going to kill me. Take it one step at a time.
That's right.
Take it one step at a time. Do the basics, and I'm not even saying like, hormone therapy and stuff like that. No. We're talking about basics. Go to sleep at night.
Exercise.
Right? Exercise.
Yeah.
And just try to eat whole foods.
That's right.
So if you stay away from processed foods and you're walking a lot and you're exercising, you're working out and you sleep, people really underestimate this sleep thing.
They really do. When I was sick as hell, I wasn't sleeping for months. And I'm like, how did the doctors not think I'm going to die? Like I'm in and out of hospitals. Nobody here cares about the fact I'm not sleeping?
It's the worst thing that
They don't even ask you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't care. They don't even
No,
pay
not
attention.
one doctor has ever asked me, how much are you sleeping when I was at my sickest?
Your body recovers when you sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was sleeping last night next to a 2.5-year-old. So, in between her kicking me in the face when she's moving around, just the 2.5-year-old's doing the bed.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to have somebody try to comment on this if this ends up going on the internet about co-sleeping parents.
I did that.
So I used to think it was bad. I have been led to believe it's quite good up into a certain age.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to co-sleep with your kid until they're...
I did both.
Yeah, okay.
With the first one, I did it and I never slept. And I nursed until past 2.
Well, so difference between men and women.
Yeah.
So
it was easier for nursing.
So babies can smell milk though.
Yeah.
So I just talked to my daughter's mother this morning. She picked her up in my house before I came over here. And she was like, how did you get her to sleep 10 and a half hours last night? Because that's how long my daughter slept.
That is so
She only
good
woke
for
up
them.
once, I think from a dream.
Yeah.
Came and cuddled on my chest.
And went back.
And then went back to sleep and then she rolled off. But she's like, what are you doing? I said, well, it's obviously the house is very peaceful. It's very cold and it's very dark. And she said, well, she wakes up crying and wants milk. I said, that's because she can smell your boobs, man. She can smell
I
it.
never thought about that.
So when they talk about co-sleeping parents, this is, we're talking about like the European model. Like in Europe, it's normal for parents to sleep with their kids
completely
for a couple years.
Completely.
And every mom on the planet does the same thing, by the way.
So true.
Yeah. Letting kids cry it out method. They just made that cry it out method.
I'm super against it. I have a very dear friend that just did that with her oldest.
It caused a lot of trauma.
Brutal.
It caused a lot of trauma to children.
They're
like
crying
mental trauma.
for a reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
But when they say to co-sleep, you have mom and dad, let's say. So mom's on the right leg, dad's on the left.
Yeah.
And sometimes babies will be in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, they'll wake up a lot because they're looking for milk because they can smell it.
I never thought about that.
If you put them on dad's side,
then they don't
wake up.
It's so interesting because my oldest I nursed until past 2, and she never not wanted to sleep with us.
Sure.
She was always on my boob. Then the youngest didn't want to nurse, and her nose was stuffy, and she did not want to nurse. And by a few months, I was like, this kid, literally, I'm forcing her, doesn't want to nurse. So I stopped, and that one always wanted to sleep in her own bed, and she slept so good.
Interesting.
I never realized it's because they smell your milk too.
Yeah, they can smell it. And
wow.
Yeah, they say if you were going to co-sleep with your child, which at a certain time when you shouldn't do it as well, at least not in the same bed.
Yeah.
Because,
it's harder when you have a mom and a dad, when you're a single parent and they sleep with you, but because then it takes away from the intimacy of the man and the woman.
Correct. But if they're in the bed with you when they're little, you can like accidentally suffocate the baby because they can't move.
Yeah.
They won't push you.
You're going to say something else.
No. I mean,
I was like, oh no, Tomo.
No, we're not going to go there. But
like,
that happens a lot. Dr. Clark, the medical director here, he uses ER.
Where kids get suffocated?
And
holy smoke.
He's like, not like once or twice, dozens.
Wow.
Dozens.
Wow.
So, that's something that's very scary, which they say, put a bassinet right next to the bed. Just put them right next to the bed.
Right there, exactly. Makes it way easier. Yeah.
Basically, and you can even put a mini bed that's almost attached to your bed.
Yeah.
Where they can almost roll in there.
It's true.
But you won't roll on top of them.
Yeah.
At 2,
smart.
if I roll on my daughter, she's going to punch me in the back of the head.
That's right.
Hopefully. She'll do.
You're a little big, but hopefully.
I'm a little big. Yeah. But I'm also, I'm a very...
intuitive, aware?
No. When I sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that when I go to sleep, I hit the pillow, 45 seconds, I'm done. I don't sit there.
All women are hating you right now.
Oh, I know.
All women are.
Men too, I think, But it's like, and they're like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't stop all day.
Yeah.
So when I lay down,
you're out.
I'll go and I won't move.
That is so good.
So I'll lay back and I sleep on my back and I'll put my hands. It looks like I'm in a coffin. It's like I don't move.
I don't have that superpower. I wish as a woman, I'm crawled up in the little fetal position and I toss and turn, go to the restroom. I wish. I feel like that's a superpower.
It's maybe one of the lucky ones that can do that. It wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went almost like 6-7 months on a PTS issue that I had. And I actually think I didn't sleep for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had super bad insomnia. So I didn't know if I was asleep or awake. I felt like I was losing my mind.
Wow. Was this also due to psychiatric medication?
No, I never took any psychiatric medication. I know. My medication at that time was a bottle to a bottle and a half of whiskey a night. That's what helped me sleep.
Smokes.
Yeah, it was not good.
Awful. Yeah, that's brutal.
It was not good.
No.
I don't even drink now. I'm not against it.
I am, but I don't tell people what to do. I haven't touched alcohol in over 3 years.
Okay.
And even before then, I wasn't a drinker. I just don't think it's a good idea to take something that poisons every cell in your body.
Yes.
But I don't care what you do. I'm just telling you, I don't think it's a good idea.
It's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
And there's no way anybody can tell me that it's healthy for you.
There is no study except what they made up in the 90s with the French. French and
smart.
They're the healthy. Yeah, they don't have heart attacks.
One glass of red wine is great for you. It's like, okay. Yeah, alcohol is a poison. That's why you get drunk. It literally wreaks havoc on your system and your body and your liver and everything.
Yeah.
Now, I say that I'm not wholly against drinking because let's say, and this happened not so long ago, I met a person who was quite a famous drinker in his circles. Are you familiar with Andrew and Tristan Tate?
Very much so.
Okay. Tristan.
I'm familiar with everybody on social media and their PR and ways that their PR can be fixed.
I was in Dubai and I was on a private island with Tristan Tate.
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking at the time, but Tristan was like, we're going to drink. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to drink with Tristan Tate because he's a famous drinker.
Yeah.
And I went from drinking nothing for months and months and months to drinking probably 30 plus drinks in one night with him.
No.
I was blasted.
That's crazy.
I can drink a lot. Yeah. Croatian, it's like we're almost like we're probably a 0.08 blood alcohol just naturally.
Mexicans too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I drank with him and like turn into, oh, I'm drinking every night. I didn't drink again for months.
Good.
But if there's like a occasion, if Joe Rogan invites me to his podcast and he wants to drink whiskey, I'm drinking whiskey with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I'm not that against it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
I do get that. Like, I'm not really a drinker. And 3 years ago, when I was in Europe with my ex-husband, in Greece, we'd have a drink, or somewhere else. It puts me to sleep.
Sure.
Because I don't drink.
Sure.
But it's not that I'm against everything. Overall, I'm against it.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. When I was having chest pain and I was worried and I needed to go to the ER and lots of bad things, I chewed up 4 baby aspirins. Do I take aspirin? No. Do I take Tylenol? I'm against it. I'm completely against it. But if it was like, is that a heart attack? Left chest, like super painful? I would rather just chew the 4 baby aspirins. So I say I'm against things, and I am, but there are exceptions. And I eat very well, but is it 100% of the time? It's probably 99, you know, especially on carnivore. But it's a discipline that you build over time to not drink, to not smoke, to eat healthy, to exercise regularly. I don't always feel like it, but I've been building this muscle of having a healthy lifestyle for years now, years and years.
Yeah.
And it does get easier because you wouldn't think to all of a sudden be a fat slob, no offense, or an unhealthy eater after you've been disciplined in an area for a long time.
I'll be offensive about it on the fat slob part if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
For both of us, for all of us. Yeah, no, so the overweight thing to me, what do you think about body positivity?
So here's the thing. I was always relatively thin, and then at times when I got fatter, right? When I was hospitalized in 2024, I lost 15 pounds. And I remembered my ex-husband, who's a doctor, telling me doctors are most alarmed when you lose a lot of weight very fast.
Okay.
They're worried it could be cancer, some terminal disease. So I was very ill and I was not doing well. And I was like, I really need to fix my body. And I put on 15 pounds.
Okay.
And that was last year. Did I love being 15? I actually felt fat, but I fixed my immune system to such a degree, raised my cholesterol. Everything was perfect. Triglycerides, hemoglobin A1C.
Right.
Raised my cholesterol, my LDL to 275.
Okay.
With no unhealthy markers of inflammation whatsoever.
Okay.
That was last year. And then I lost most of the weight. And I have 10 pounds to go back to my normal, but I lost about 10 pounds.
Okay.
And I, for myself, look, I work in PR, so I believe image is important.
Sure.
I want to feel good about myself. So even in my age, I'm not going to use the fact that I'm older or I had kids as an excuse, because whether I'm in a relationship or not, I have to look in the mirror. And even, my divorce was 3 years ago. I didn't start dating since then, but I still shave my legs.
Sure.
Even in the winter, I just use that as a funny example, but
It's a real example.
I care for myself, whether there's a man involved in the picture or not, or whether or not people are watching me or not. I like to look good and know that I'm healthy, but public relations and your image is important. People that are slobs don't get taken as seriously.
Well, aren't we all in PR constantly anyway?
Not everyone. Maybe our professions,
I think
being
everybody.
podcasters, not everybody knows they are.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. When I talk about that body positivity thing, and you were like, no offense on the fat slobs. I mean offensively. If you're a fat slob, I am offensively telling you that you need to stop being a fat slob.
Yeah.
Not because I'm looking at you and I'm disgusted.
But just for self-confidence, happiness, all of that.
Or just health.
Health.
Yeah. So when I look at it, and your 15 pound story, was it 15 pounds of good weight or was it 15 pounds of sloppy, just fat?
No,
right?
I was eating very healthy. I just didn't care about weight. I needed to get healthy.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about weight, I'm right now like 232, 233 pounds. I'm 6'3". You want to know what my BMI says?
What is it?
Morbidly obese.
Wow.
I'm supposed to be 186 pounds according to BMI
Wow.
because they don't account for muscle mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's not about necessarily that BMI score. It's about your body fat
Yeah.
and your muscle mass.
Yeah.
There is studies now that show the more muscle mass you have, the longer you will live.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're not talking about the steroid monsters that are
Yes.
taking crazy amount of drugs, stuff like
End
that.
up with a heart attack.
We're talking about
Normal people.
We're talking about people that are normal, healthy people that are doing things the right way,
Yeah.
eating well, exercising. The more muscle you have, the lower your mortality rate is.
Yeah.
The more body fat you have, more adipose tissue,
Yeah.
The higher your mortality rate is. Now, one of the major comorbidities for, people that were getting these viruses and stuff during that 2000 phase.
The few friends that I had that died during COVID were older men that were morbidly obese.
Sure. That's what happens. So there was 2 to 3 comorbidities for the people that were dying. They had extremely overweight or obese. They had diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
And they had heart issues, cholesterol, blood pressure, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, all those things correct when you're in a leaner form. So, when I see this body positivity movement, it's real. It's just to make you feel better. So what I tell people is, it's going to sound bad, shame yourself. I'm not going to body shame you. I don't care. It's your life. If this is how you want to live it, okay. I don't have to interact with you if I don't want to, or, I'm not going to, but when I see somebody who is obese and they're like, no, I'm big and I'm beautiful, or I how fat I am. And this people actually say this stuff.
I see it.
It's on social media,
yeah.
right?
I see it all the time.
So when you see this stuff, it's like, you're lying. Number one, you're lying. I know you're not happy with the way you look. I know you look at yourself in the mirror. There's no possible way. You're.
But some people, Tomo, are delusional.
And that's fine. But
Yeah.
I don't need to go with their delusion.
Understood, yeah.
You know what I mean? And the rest of society shouldn't.
Yeah.
The rest of society should tell them, hey, no, listen, like let's get you help.
Yeah.
And you want to know what the craziest thing is? Who was it? Lizzo and Oprah?
Yeah.
All these people. What happened over the last couple of years? They all lost a whole bunch of weight. Did you notice?
Ozempic. Anybody I see that all of a sudden lost a lot of weight, I think Ozempic, which I would rather you stay fat than take Ozempic.
I have a mixed approach on it.
Okay.
So
This is one of my strong opinions.
yeah, so Ozempic specifically, it's old. Okay, it's an old drug. It's been around for a very long time. It was a diabetic drug. They just figured out that it could do some weight loss stuff. Most diabetic drugs do.
Yeah.
Right? It can do some benefits. However, Ozempic itself, GLP-1s,
Yeah.
okay? So we're talking about the drug is called semaglutide. That's what Ozempic is. GLP-1 drugs are quite harsh at the doses that people were taking.
Yep.
Also, for somebody who is morbidly obese, you going on Ozempic could actually save your life. It could. Because you being obese is probably way worse for you than the side effects of Ozempic was.
Yeah, correct.
If you take it properly.
Yeah.
Key word here.
Yeah.
Taking it properly.
Yeah.
Now, that has been revamped, and now there is dual agonist GLP-1 drugs and triple agonist GLP-1 drugs. Tirzepatide is the next stage of it. It's a 2-part acting, GLP-1 and GIP. Okay, what is that doing now? Well, it's a little bit less harsh in the system. You have a little bit better retention of muscle mass. It's not so harsh on the gut, blah, blah, blah. All right, now there's a triple agonist one that's coming out. It's called retatrutide. It's already out, but Big Pharma hasn't had it out yet.
Yeah.
Right? This one fixed a lot of the problems that was happening in the earlier GLP-1 drugs.
Yeah.
You're able to preserve muscle mass and so on. People are like, oh, it's a cheat code. It's, all this stuff. People are misusing it,
Yeah.
which is a major problem with these drugs, just like hormones.
Yeah. Like everything.
It's like everything. It's
Yeah.
misuse. Who should be taking these drugs? If you I want to lose 5 pounds for summer, please, for the love of God,
Don't do it. Yeah.
you don't need it.
Yeah.
Do a little more cardio,
A
change
teenager
your diet a little
girl
bit.
ended up with osteoporosis using it.
Well, and why?
She used it excessively.
But
It was not fat to begin with.
Sure.
Yeah, she
But-
misused it.
here's the issue. They're misusing it, but they're not only misusing it, they're not doing the lifestyle with it.
Yeah.
So one of the major problems with GLP-1 type drugs, we're talking about semaglutide, tirzepatide, retatrutide, and anything else that comes out, Tide, right? All these drugs are like that. So any of those drugs, the biggest problem that people are having, like, oh, I'm having stomach paralysis, right? Side effect. Blindness, side effect. Okay. Osteoporosis, side effect. Do you want to know what the side effects are from? They're not from the drug. This is what people are, they're not putting this together. It's from the lack of eating. They are literally malnourishing themselves to the point. The blind thing,
Yeah.
people are losing their eyesight. It's because they were literally eating less than 500 calories a day for extended periods of time. Well, what's one of the things your body is going to stop using?
Wow.
That's what happens. Your body wants to keep itself alive. It has a
Yeah.
self-preservation mechanism. You stop eating food, your body thinks you're dying.
Yeah. No.
It's like, come on, guys, put 2 and 2 together, please. You know what I mean?
Completely.
The drug was not actually the problem. Now, does it have harsh tendencies? It does.
Yeah.
Misuse is the problem. Do you have to live a certain lifestyle if you take something like that? Yes. You have to eat adequate amounts of protein. You have to, oh, well, Tomo, I'm just not hungry. Oh, boo-hoo. Let me tell you how I felt bodybuilding, okay? When I used to get big for bodybuilding, I used to have to force feed myself up to 9,000 calories a day.
That's unbelievable.
Because I'm built.
Dying at 1,000. Yeah, no, I can't.
9,000 was my peak at eating.
Wow.
265 pounds. I was force feeding myself, literally like almost gagging, eating so much food, right?
Yeah.
And then my maintenance calories are like 3,800, 4,000.
Wow. That's maintenance calories.
That's a lot, but I'm a big active guy, you know? So, you know, if I were to tell somebody, hey, these GLP-1 drugs might be for you, well, you need to be overweight. Look, you have to have some weight to lose. I will say that the benefits outweigh the issues with the drug.
On someone obese,
Correct.
I can see that.
Correct.
Really.
Yeah.
Like morbidly obese, for sure.
Well, obese is really 20 pounds overweight of fat. It's, though. You know, and then you have to look at where is that weight sitting.
Yeah.
If it's subcutaneous fat, you can lose that pretty easy.
Yeah.
If it's that adipose tissues around your organs, and now that's the cool thing about the drug. You will actually lose that fat. So that's where I like it.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like any drug.
Yeah.
I like the potential benefits with proper use.
The lesser of two evils.
Sure. If your choice is to be morbidly obese or to go on one of these GLP-1 drugs for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Not forever.
Yeah.
This is not a forever thing, guys.
Definitely not. Yeah.
This is something that you are supposed to use, drop that body fat, and then from there, lifestyle.
I like that.
Don't go back into the eating boxes of Oreos, guys. You know, like you have to develop the lifestyle and then you have to live this lifestyle after that drug.
And it's not easy for a lot of people, Tomo.
It's not supposed to be. Since was life supposed to be easy?
No, but I noticed that it's just a very steep gradient for your average bear. And even, you know, since I became carnivore, I've had so many people comment on posts or ask me, isn't that extreme? And how do you stay so disciplined? And I guess my only answer to that is that I don't want a mediocre life.
Beautiful.
Like, I don't want the average life that somebody else is okay with. I want to look great. I want to feel great. I want to make lots of money. I want to be able to influence in a good direction in the world and create good effects.
Yeah.
And that involves not doing average things in life.
Sure.
So I've had the other life. I was an abused wife. I was a single mom my whole life. I've had the situations of not having money and having 2 kids and not being able to take care of myself as a woman. And if I have an opportunity now at this stage in my life, I've raised the kids, I've done my share, I can now work on Mirit, my dreams, my goals, even if it's at a later age. I don't want a mediocre life. So it's not a punishment for me to eat a steak and some cheese and butter for dinner. That's not a punishment. Like, I'm nourishing a body that was already sick. So when people ask me, well, isn't it harsh? Isn't it extreme? I'm like, no, it's extreme to eat that cereal you're eating right now. Me eating a steak is not extreme.
It's ease, right? People like ease. Humans do.
Yeah.
You know, we like things to be easy. We like things to be fast.
Yeah.
I mean, how do I still see full lines around the building at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Or Chick-fil-A?
With that video you did about the membership, I never heard of that.
I don't know if that's even true.
I haven't.
If it is, it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been eating there since I was like 20, so I don't even know. Yeah.
You know, people started talking about Chick-fil-A recently. I think I made the video calling out Chick-fil-A almost 3 years ago now.
They had like 60, 70 ingredients in their darn little chicken.
My Chick-fil-A video got so much hatred. Like, people were calling me anti-Christian for calling out Chick-fil-A. I'm like, this is God's chicken. I'm like, this is owned by a giant conglomerate that had just feeding you crappy food. They just happen to be closed on Sundays.
They happen to be closed on Sundays.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
Exactly. And that chicken tastes good. Their food tastes good. I've tasted it.
Listen.
But it's just awful.
Fast food tastes good.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
It's addictive.
Yeah. As Anthony Chaffee says, cocaine will make you feel good.
You know what's more addictive than cocaine?
Sugar. You're talking to the ex-sugarholic. There was no bigger sugarholic than me ever in this lifetime. I used to just eat candy. And if I was hypoglycemic, so it would make me feel good. I was always low on iron and anemic, so a little bit of sugar gave me a little bit of energy.
They give you a boost.
Yeah, but if someone like me can be carnivore and sugar-free and never have had diabetes, I feel like anyone can do it. Because, Tomo, I did cocaine. I've done ecstasy. Nothing in college. Nothing was as bad as sugar. Nothing. Sugar was the hardest. It was my last thing that was hard to quit.
The study, the cocaine sugar comparison,
Yeah.
the study actually showed that biologically sugar was more addictive than than to people. It's crazy.
Rough.
Yeah. But again, you're talking, when people say that what you're doing is extreme, it can be perceived as so, right?
I thought it was extreme before I got on it.
Sure.
I was whole foods.
Sure.
So I ate a little bit of carbs, but I was still eating very healthy. And I just thought, wow, it's interesting. It sounds very extreme and had a lot of misconceptions that you need fiber, that you need to eat carbs after you work out. I'm friends with Anthony Chafee, so I get all the insider information.
Yeah.
I know it's not extreme now.
Yeah.
Like people think you need fiber, you don't go to the restroom. If you're eating high fat, you're going to the restroom.
Yeah.
So I've had many things dispelled on this diet, but look to why I'm staying on it, not because I'm losing weight.
Sure.
It's really not vain.
It's for health. Yeah.
And I can tell you, I've been bloated my entire life. And for the first time in my life, I've not been bloated one time.
That's amazing.
It doesn't mean I have a flat stomach. It doesn't mean I've lost all the weight that I'm going to lose and be in the perfect shape that I want to be in.
Sure.
But that I haven't had one stomach ache or one bloating in the month and whatever that I've been is a testament to that carbs and sugar were creating that for my body.
Listen, and I'm a big believer in there is no perfect diet. So I eat more of a whole food diet.
Yeah.
Right? Now I've tried carnivore.
Yeah.
This is going to sound crazy. I even tried vegan. Just to say I tried it.
I was vegan for years. I was sick as shit.
Okay, yeah, of course.
In my 20s, I was so sick on it.
Here's my point. I felt awful on vegan diet.
Same.
And
vegetarian, I didn't feel great on either.
I felt pretty bad on carnivore too.
You did?
Yeah. So it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Right? And I tried it for enough time to see if it was going to work.
I'm definitely going to talk to you about that behind the scenes.
Of course. Yeah. Listen, I'm all about it. I think that diets are as individual as people.
They are 100%.
What's going to work for me is not going to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I eat a crazy amount of food.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm telling you, my maintenance is probably double what most people's maintenance calories are. When I was really trying to put on size and muscle and trying to put on weight, if I tell somebody I'm eating 8,000 or 9,000 calories a day, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how is it even possible? I'm
that's really crazy.
It was disgusting.
That really is, yeah.
That's
a lot.
If you ask some big body...
At 2,000, I would feel like I'm going to, explode.
I used to eat 3,000 calorie cheat meals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the cheat meal. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I could still do that now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
But you're a big bodybuilder. It's a different story.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, no diet is perfect for everybody. It's about what's good for you.
Yeah.
I have friends, and I don't agree with it, but I have friends who thrive on a vegan diet. And I don't know if they'll thrive for long, but right now they are. And I'm like, and it corrected some health issues for them. I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. But they're not eating the vegan diet they're not eating like the slop.
Yeah.
They're not eating like, Beyond Burgers.
Oh, gosh.
Horrible.
Can't even imagine.
Horrible.
Yeah.
They're eating actually like a real vegan diet with like whole green leaves.
Yes, yes.
And they fixed a lot of their health issues. And I tell them, I said, I'm super happy for you.
Yeah.
I said, be prepared to start reintroducing certain foods.
Yep.
I said, even if it's just going vegan to vegetarian.
Yeah.
At least vegetarians can
Vegetarians at least eggs,
they
milk,
can eat
cheese.
eggs, milk, cheese.
Yeah.
And eggs are the best source of protein on the planet.
100%. There's not a day I don't
Good
eat
eggs.
eggs. Thank you.
Yeah. Not the seed oil filled eggs.
No,
the good eggs. So be prepared to switch that. And, I see a lot of people that have done carnivore for a long time.
Yeah.
That seems to be something a lot of people can sustain.
The double Ironman, what's it called? That one, the carnivore.
Yeah.
So
and it works for them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't care what anyone does.
Yeah.
I care what I do, and I care to share successful natural remedies that I have found over the years. That's my life purpose, to promote those. What you do with your life, who you sleep with, what you drink, how you sleep. It doesn't in my life. I want people to be healthy and happy.
Yeah.
I can put things out there, people like you that promote good things. But beyond that, I'm not into the business of making anybody do, and I'm not into shaming people either.
Yeah. I try not to shame fat people, but unfortunately I somewhat do.
But I'll tell you why I don't. And I know you're a guy and you're going to have a different flow than me on this. But I'll just tell you this. people are having a very hard time in life.
Of course.
And financially, people are being sexually abused, physically abused. And even if not right now in present time,
Yeah.
they've had a lot of abuse, right? As children, people were raped, all sorts of horrific things, endless people being trafficked. They're depressed, they're stuck on psych drugs and don't have a way to get off of them. So people have lost their children. Like I can't imagine losing a child, right?
Yeah.
Forget divorces and someone cheated on them. So people don't necessarily have the resources or the data out there to get themselves out of the mud.
Sure.
And I could have been that person. I should have been in a psych ward. I should have been, I don't know, in jail or dead. Like I had a horrible life. Because I found my way out, I feel very lucky, but not everybody's lucky.
Yeah.
And so I see sometimes people that are overweight or suffering, and I can tell you they need a lot of love. They need a lot of education, and they need to get out of the environment they're in. And you had a good mom, so you're very lucky.
Yeah.
You come from a strong family that raised you with the right morals and the right health and things like that. But for everybody else out there who hasn't, my heart goes out to them.
Sure.
But to a degree.
Yeah.
Because I also was abused as a child and as a married woman, and I've had the hardest life, and I dug myself out of it. Didn't happen overnight. First had to get out of the crazy relationship. And then I had to stop being afraid someone else is going to kill me. And then I had to figure out, how do I make over $200,000 a year with 2 little kids? That was hard. But I did it in baby steps. And yes, I'm carnivore today, but I wasn't last year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't well in 2024. And a massive $6.5 million bankruptcy when I was 30. So it's been I think you have to want it for yourself to have a great life. And not everybody does.
I love that. I mean, when I talk about that fat shaming thing, where I have a different approach.
I don't think you mean it. I think you want everybody to have a happy life.
Correct. When I say I'm not really tolerant of it.
Yeah.
It's because I know they can change it.
Yeah.
It's because really deep down, I know that if they just get the information and they make a different choice, it's 100% correctable.
Yeah.
So, when something was like, oh, well, don't shame, I'm like, man, I want to shame them so they can change for the better.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm going to go there and just be like, you're fat. No, it's like, hey, let me help you, man.
Yeah.
Let me help you.
You can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. It's a lot of work, but you can do it.
But people really need to get out of that idea
Mindset.
and the mindset that they're stuck.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
You own barriers. And I always, I talk about in my videos, even when I was in an abusive relationship and I was physically and all that mentally abused, I chose to marry him.
Yeah.
I was young and dumb, but you can't use that as an excuse, right? You're still going to pay for whatever decisions you made. But I'll tell you, there was a good guy in college. There was a good guy, and he really liked me. He was super cute. He was handsome. And I think he had like a 60, I don't know what Corvette, like a really old Corvette that he fixed up, and it was perfect. And he fixed up the engine, and he was a good guy, not doing drugs in college. And he really liked me. And I tried dating him. And the one time he kissed me, it repulsed me. And so I look back and I can say, well, because I was an abused child, then I carried that pattern, and then I married an abused husband. No, I chose that bad guy over a good guy. Other people didn't. There are some people that chose the good guy and had a good life. I chose to make mistakes and learn hard lessons. But that was me.
That's life.
The decisions we make. Some people make good decisions, some make bad, and at different times in your life you may, but I don't have anyone to blame anything I've ever done on.
Yeah.
And it empowers me.
Well, you learned. You're only going to win and learn.
Yeah.
If you don't, unless you want to dwell on it, just learn the lesson.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets in life?
Not one.
Really?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about this.
Fast answer.
Yeah, I thought about this not too long ago. Actually, I think my mom asked me this question. We were having a conversation over a family dinner. We were all the family together.
Yeah.
And she asked me, and she's like, do you ever think about any regrets or anything like that? I'm like, don't have one. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what? Why would I? I'm like, look at where I am now.
Yeah.
Did I make stupid decisions? 100%.
Yeah.
Did I make even wrong decisions? Yes. But do I regret them? No. Every single step I took, every mistake that I made, and was it a mistake? Here's where my brain gets crazy. Was it a mistake to do that wrong thing? Well, I don't know. I'm here now. Was it a mistake? Shit, I don't know. It's weird. It's a situation that I kind of go through in my head, but do I regret it? No, because I'm here right now. My family's healthy. I have a business that employs dozens and dozens of people. I help thousands of people. So, but would I be here if it wasn't for some of those perceived mistakes earlier in my life? Nope. 100% no. And I mean, those were, the worst times in my life. Some of those mistakes where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like that was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And now I'm here and I'm like, oh shit, was it the right thing? Was the right thing at the right time? It's weird. Do you believe in fate? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in, do you believe that maybe you have to go through things to get to where you're supposed to go? None of us are supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
No, none of us are infallible.
Yeah.
We're all on a journey, I think the people that lose the journey or lose their place in the journey are the people that dwell on mistakes instead of learning from them.
That's right.
And they have things haunt them forever.
Yeah.
And those things that haunt them stop them from progressing.
That's right.
I just keep progressing. And it's like, yeah, I screwed things up. Yeah, I've made mistakes. Yeah, I've hurt people's feelings before. Yeah, I've done some wrong things. I've done some right things. They're all got me right here. Am I a bad person for doing a wrong thing or making a mistake? No, there's no malice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a bad person.
Yes.
And
there are bad people, but they're far and few.
Yeah.
Compared to the
truly
good
bad people.
Yeah.
Good people do bad things all the time.
It's true.
It's part of life.
It's part of life. And I believe that we do the best we can. Even if someone murdered someone, that was the best thing that they knew to do at that part of their life. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Crazy to say.
But it is the best that they knew. Everybody's doing the best they can at every part of their life. So I don't believe in fate. Mm-hmm. I do believe in God, but I also believe that I have free will to choose and that God empowers one to have free will. So I absolutely believe in God, but I believe that I can choose moment to moment where my life goes. And I'm not waiting to die. First of all, I believe we live forever, but I also don't believe I'm going to drop this body and then God has just been wanting me to just live a life that is based on waiting for something.
Yeah.
Like I want to live my life. I want to actually live.
Yeah. I mean, there's people out there that believe that, this right now is heaven. I thought that was a super cool concept.
I never thought about that.
You're living it right now. Like, look at how cool this is.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's cool. I definitely don't believe in YOLO. I never, there's no way this awareness ever goes away.
Yeah.
I do believe we pick different bodies and different lifetimes, but I don't think you ever close your eyes and you're gone forever.
I hope not.
I don't believe that.
I hope not. And
it wouldn't even make sense.
I hope not. And I mean, none of us knows what's true.
Yeah.
None of us has been to the other side and really come back, right?
Yep.
So none of us have.
Actually.
I know they say that, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I saw a light, I saw this. Like, okay. But nobody's really made that journey all the way and then came back and hey, this is what happens, guys. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's paradise after life, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
I hope I get there. I think I'm a good enough person where I can, right?
Yeah.
Not a perfect person,
a
good enough person. I think I'm doing the right things. If I get to go another round, if reincarnation's real, holy shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. I hope I remember.
Yes, absolutely.
I hope I remember that. I don't know what's real and I don't think I'm supposed to. But I know that right now, right here is happening. And I'm trying to make the best out of right now, right here.
Yeah.
And dwelling on things and having regrets and living a life where it's like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that. I wish it. No.
Strongly agree.
You did it.
You did it.
Just own it.
Yeah.
You did it. It's over now. If you need to say sorry, say sorry.
Yeah.
If you need to change past, change past.
Yeah.
If you did something wrong and you got in trouble, you need to go to jail for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come out better.
That's right.
But
or make the best of it in jail for the rest of your life.
I mean, listen, my friend Mel Chancey, he was an ex-Hells Angels, like head of the Hells Angels in Chicago.
Wow.
He went to prison for a long time. Came out a Reformed Christian.
Wow.
And now he's changing people's lives. He actually partly owns a medical clinic, not unlike mine, that helps military veterans.
That's awesome.
He's best friends with the guy who arrested him and put him in prison.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were just interviewed on Sean Ryan's podcast.
Completely turned around his life.
Turn it around.
Yeah.
Would he have turned it around if he didn't get arrested?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
And maybe it wouldn't have been as great as it is today.
And he probably he got killed or something like that. Like that all happened for a reason.
That's so awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guarantee he doesn't regret it because he loves the person he is now.
It's true.
You got this one life. Just make the best of it.
You did it. You said you got this one life.
Maybe.
Maybe. Wolfed out.
I will let you know
Yeah.
if I come back.
Well, Tomo, thank you so much for this beautiful space that we're in, your rejuvenation. Can I call it a rejuvenation center?
Sure, absolutely.
I feel rejuvenated just being here.
It's a great conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to take pictures just so they can see what I'm talking about because I feel like I'm in a health center and an aesthetic center because it looks so much like a museum.
Sure.
And as an artist, I enjoyed it and appreciate it so much. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.